its people.
The hell with it. It's not working. Whatever. Welcome. If everybody can hear me.
Yes.
Welcome to another episode of Angel in the Afternoon. I'm Angel Rivera alongside Alex Knight, Miss Witchy Perfect, and we'll be back in a moment. Descent in Bloom. So, how are we doing?
We are all good.
Well,
Yeah,
I mentioned it before we went live. I'm mostly doing fine, but it's been the last couple emotional days because one of my cats is having issues. He's all my other cats is as well, but he'll be taken to the vet, see if he can get better. But
I wonder where my audience was. Come on, guys! I was like, where is everybody? Come on, if we get 40 likes, Mrs. Witchy goes topless. Hello. And I'm not the only chick here this week, and I'm not the only mom here this week. Yes.
Yeah, well, thanks for joining us, everybody. My little intro I'd like to do isn't working, so that's why it took me a while to start, and it still hasn't worked. So it's like, forget it. Do it next week. So let's see here. We got a lot to talk about. We'll talk about ICE invading and going to war with Americans, which is what's going on right now. I mean, you could tell they've invaded Minneapolis.
I told you so, but I told you so.
They've invaded Minnesota, Ohio. Looks like there's already rumblings and movement in New Jersey, my home state. So it's like, here we fucking go. So
if they come after you, Angel, they're going to be a lot of dead ICE agents.
Let's see. Maduro or Trump had to use the staging ground of Puerto Rico and my home, or some of my family lives, in order to get Maduro. Let's see what else we got.
Also, we should talk about the controversy with him and the Ford workers that happened a few days ago.
I was like, don't be flipping off workers, motherfucker.
Let's see what else.
By the way, we do swear here, dissident.
Greenlanders.
Sorry. Oh,
you're fine.
Can I just call you Bloom?
You can call me whatever you want to call me. It's fine.
Okay.
or
you swear here, Bloom.
Or in Bloom, like that Nirvana song.
Okay. We do swear here, and I do say suck a dick. We have a counter for that. So every time I say it, someone says, "Oh, that's one." So there's your one for the night. Okay. I think my highest was like 40 something. That's because I was really
Let's see.
Impressive, actually.
I know, right?
Let's see what else. Some Greenlanders are being asked about Americans and quote unquote they don't want to become Americans.
Alan, I did not start my new job yet. I actually start my job on Monday, the 19th. I'm excited. I just left the old job, so
you start on Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah.
People are off.
Well, it's not a government holiday per se. And, I'm not really happy about it because...
Well, technically it is.
Well,
technically it is, yes.
MLK Day is that, once again, the FIB account's going to tweet about, the special day and all that stuff.
Snow is in the chat. Snow Himbo is in the chat. My other work husband.
Hey.
Yeah, but they're gonna tweet that once again, even though they're going to keep getting, destroyed for killing, because they killed them.
So I haven't started my new job yet. I start that on Monday. I'm very excited, a little nervous, and I'm very excited because the other job was just not paying me very well. So yeah. This one's much closer. It's a lot,
Oh, what's going on, Angel?
Whoa, we're in the background.
Hold on. Just bear with me
what I was
here.
going to say was, I'm so lucky to only be working at home. I don't need to go out.
Oh, shut up, little brother.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I would work at home if I could, right?
As I wish I could work from home, but there's not many work from home jobs for nurses.
I work with
oh yeah.
No.
I work with sports. So.
No, I'm an IT help desk person. That's why I was like, Snow, what are you doing? Go, screw your router. Reboot your router. Reboot your computer. Oh, you did that? Oh. It had to be something internal. So it had to be like either his computer was having issues. If they were having some kind of outage, his ISP was having an outage. Because sometimes that can happen too. He was saying he thinks it was his wireless adapter, which also can have an issue.
Where is... Oh, here it is. Get rid of that for now.
What are we doing? We're in the background.
No, that's me having technical difficulties, but I'm good now. Yeah, so thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Excuse the issues, it's just been one of those days today. So yeah, we'll talk about that.
So what's your ISP? I told you, Snow. I told you.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a tech too. I'm like, really? Help desk? You can tear your computer apart, put it back together, make sure it works.
We'll talk about New Jersey and we passed 3 different laws here in order to fight or slightly fight ICE lately, or barely, but our outgoing governor is not really signing those laws, kind of sitting on them. So we'll talk about that as well.
Yeah, let's talk about the fact that Pennsylvania has a state law that if anyone breaks into my house, I have a right to shoot them. And I will be using that law to the greatest extent if ICE tries to break into my house and get to my son.
Will you be having a grenade launcher and say hello to my little friend?
That would be freaking awesome, little brother.
Ohio has a stand your ground law as well. And we
yes, it's stand your ground. It's actually technically called defend your castle in PA.
Bag cookies.
I don't know, but I will be using that law because I have like Bloom has 2 children. I have a child, and I will do everything.
So let's start.
You have 3 children. Oh, okay. Yes. So I have a child right now. We're thinking about having more whenever we get there.
Do you mind?
Why did I go to your background, dude?
Do you mind me asking you, Bloom, how old you are? Is that okay?
Yeah, you're fine. I turned 28. I turned 29 in May.
Oh, 29.
Oh my God! What the hell is that? I'm the oldest one here. I will be 40.
I'm the 3rd oldest.
Shut up, little brother. I'll stop picking on you because I know you're having a bad day.
I guess you'll also call Bloom little sister, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, she'll be my little sister from now on. Snow Himbo is my one work husband. So Snow Himbo is my one work husband. Angel is my 2nd work husband. And Kit Cabello is my 3rd work husband. Dave from Constructing Topics, he's my big brother. And Alex over there is my little brother. So I have like a whole family worth here,
Oh, God. Jigsaw's a vampire.
That's right. And Jigsaw's a vampire.
What in the world are we doing here? But first, before we get to that, hold on. I got to get used to this because I'm trying to do this differently. But here we go. I'll get back to that in a moment. But I have to respond to a comment from last week's episode first. So just give me a minute. And
we have been done. What you're referring to, I think.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So I'm just going to respond to this real quick, and then we'll get started. And
okay, that means
might have
we
to
get
go
the
a little
show.
bit past 9.
At least your internet is working, Angel. I mean, Snow was just like,
Well, yeah, that's good because I usually have issues too with my ISP.
I know. I kept telling I kept telling Snow that I was like,
He was just pretending. He actually just didn't want to do the show, so he was like, it was like when you go through, like, you're pretending you're driving through, like, a tunnel, like, oh, my phone's cutting out.
Those in the chat, so we can, we kid because we love Snow.
Yeah, so let's look. Let me look at this real quick. I got a comment last week, and and I've it's about you, Witchy. Yeah, I assume you're the only woman on the show last week. So
what did I do? What did I do?
Well, let me read this, and then I'll respond to it.
The viewer, he had something to say about you. It's just
okay.
It's an opinion about it from a viewer. So
okay.
I'll go over it, and then I'll talk about what I said, and then if you want to respond, you can. If not, we'll just move on.
SAD is coming into it.
He's a fan of the show, but he has some advice, I guess you could say.
Okay.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's advice, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to take it anyway. So I'll read it, and then we'll go back and forth, then we'll move on. It says, "Hey comrades, love you guys, but please do not have that loud ass screaming, interrupted, unhinged chick back on your stream again. She just won't shut the fuck up." And I said, "Thank you for your comment. Witchy is definitely an acquired taste. A lot of people like her and some don't. I like her, and she gives my voice a much needed rest. I hope you consider continue watching the show." So that's a really nice way of saying thanks, but no thanks to your advice. So what do you think?
And my advice to him, well, I do get loud, and that's because a lot of what we talk about is, no one here except for Bloom is a parent. No one is a parent here except for usually me. So I have a 9-year-old son that I care a lot about, and I will protect him with my life. And a lot of what we talk about pisses me the fuck off. And that's why I say what I say.
And also,
my dad can hear me yelling, and he's in the living room.
Adds a lot more excitement to the show. Like before, when it was just me and Angel, it would kind of maybe be a little boring. I don't know if that's the right word. Not saying that would be Angel's fault. He wasn't.
So
you need a little bit of.
Not trying to be funny, but a lot of this boils down to like sexism, right? Because it's like women are expected to be like these meek, quiet, like obedient, little subservient, sit in the corner and obey, be in the kitchen, pregnant, making sandwiches, kind of thing, and they don't like more loud and opinionated.
Or as Trump would say, quiet baby, or whatever he said.
Right.
I kind of do look like Miss Piggy, so that really does.
No. I would say you would be like a best friend to me, so I would be like, nope, wait, you look fine to me.
Just do.
And that's the thing. Like, this person is probably a little sexist. I'm sorry that I'm so loud, and I'm not like, well, can I say something?
I don't think.
No, I'm loud, and I say suck a dick. And if you don't like what I do, then don't watch me.
It's just, even if it was a male.
There you go.
No, I would say flat out, like I'm on the Pro Pill YouTube, obviously, and Snow will upload videos just being like unhinged, and he gets no hate comments. I do it, and I get like 4 fucking boomers coming on there and telling me that I need to mind my own business, little girl, etc., etc. They are so much more hateful to women because they think we shouldn't have an opinion, and it threatens them.
Right. And that's the thing, like, that's why Angel and I are such great friends, because, we share a lot of interests. And the fact that I get on his show, and he asked me a long time ago to come on his show, and the fact that I am so loud is because, I can't keep these things inside, because if I do, I'll blow up at my son, I'll blow up at my man, and I don't want to do that.
Ask Witchy about the wings. Anything else?
The woo wings.
Also, it's essentially boils down to, if they don't like it, fuck them.
Yeah, go suck a dick. I don't care. I'm gonna be loud. I'm gonna be proud. And if you don't like it, then go watch Snow Himbo when he's not with Bloom, or with Crab when he's by himself. Because and even Snow will admit that he has a very soft voice. Okay, so I'm loud, but I'm not going to sit over and go, ooh, bless you. And, I'm not going to not be myself. When I say suck a dick, I don't mean it to my audience. I mean it to the people we're talking about, because these are people who are fucking pedophiles. They're fucking criminals. They want to come after your kids. And I'm not going to do it. I refuse to live under martial law. I told this to my father, who watches Fox News. I refuse to live under martial law. And if I have to die to prove that, well, at least my son knew I stood for something. That I didn't just blend in with the crowd.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. What?
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. That's right.
All right. Well,
my audience, you guys know I'm just messing with you. I'm just joking with you. Okay? Try not to have such a stick up your ass. I don't know.
So that's just one. I've gotten some opinions that I'm not loud enough, or I'm not emotional enough about these stories. I'm like, if I get emotional, you don't want me to, it'll be too far. So it's better just for me to be detached, cover these stories, and then we'll just, because if I start yelling, forget about it. So anyway, New Jersey's passed 3 different laws or bills designed to protect immigrants from ICE raids. And New Jersey has the second largest immigrant population in the country. I can't speak. So behind California. So let's see. On Monday, the final day of the current New Jersey legislative session, lawmakers in the General Assembly and State Senate passed 3 bills designed to strengthen public trust and safety in immigrant communities across the Garden State and to protect them from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement raids and roundup, aka ICE. To become law, legislation must be signed by outgoing Governor Phil Murphy before he leaves office, January 20th, which is I think Monday or Tuesday. New Jersey is the second largest. I already said that. The Safe Communities Act requires the state attorney general to develop a plan on how sensitive locations such as public schools, healthcare facilities, and houses of worship would interact with federal immigration authorities without deterring community members from seeking services or engaging with them.
I
The
just want
act
to
mandates.
if I want to interrupt with something. I saw some of the chats about or comments about Erica Kirk. One of the people in our chats, Chase Miller, I know you guys know him. He mentioned that he believes that Erica may have been involved in the killing of her husband. I have to agree. Call me a conspiracy theorist all you want, but call me crazy. I have to agree. Because why else is she so okay afterward? Not too long after he got killed,
I see. She bumped him off because that's cheaper than divorce. I mean, she wants to be JD Vance's couch.
I do think she had something to do with it at least. Because again, how can you be that okay after just days after the killing?
Right. And can I just say one more thing about the person who left that comment? Obviously, if you're a guy leaving that comment and you heard a comment about me going topless, well, apparently you're gay and don't like titties. So I guess that's on you. I mean, go somewhere where they won't show titties then. Maybe they'll show dicks. I don't know.
Yeah, so as we've seen in Minnesota and Ohio and states like that, ICE has been breaking into or trying to break into schools, healthcare facilities, and churches around those states in particular. So the ones they've at least occupied, like Minnesota.
Again, you break into my son's school and you will meet your God. I think Bloom would say the same thing.
Okay, Charlie, you do what you want about the Epstein files.
The act mandates the commissioners of Community Affairs, Children and Family Health and Human Services, Education, Corrections, as well as the administrative director of the courts to adopt the Attorney General model policies or policies to provide greater protection for community members and to prominently display them in public-facing areas. The Privacy Protection Act limits the collection of sharing data by federal government and healthcare entities to ensure Jersey residents are not discouraged from seeking necessary services. Because, and again, especially out of red states, they're gladly giving out all your private information to ICE in order for them to get you, especially if you're not legal. The third measure codifies the Attorney General's Immigrant Trust Directive, which draws a clear distinction between state, county, and local law enforcement officers who are responsible for enforcing state criminal law, federal immigration authorities, including ICE, who enforce federal civil immigration law. The bill limits the voluntary assistance of state law enforcement officers may provide to federal authorities. The directive, which is designed to foster trust between police and community members, has withstood legal challenges by state and federal courts since it was issued in 2018. So let's see. All 3 of these bills were championed by state senators, blah, blah, blah. All these people, immigrants' rights groups, and organizations cheered the passage of legislation on Monday. The executive director of New Jersey Alliance for Immigrant Justice, in a statement, called the trios of bills a hard-earned victory for efforts to free ourselves from the tyranny of mass detention and deportation. She said the legislation moved to the governor's desk. New Jersey is one step closer to becoming a place where fear no longer dictates people's lives. Let's see. It's not really true because ICE can still get you. Just that's a little bit harder. These bills make it a little bit harder. These bills strengthen limits on local cooperation with ICE, including a major improvement ending collaboration based on solely a final order removal. First director of the First Friends in New Jersey and New York, in a statement that would help keep families together. Nidia Morsi, director of the Make the Road New Jersey, said in a statement that communities no longer can trust the federal government to keep them safe. I don't think they ever could, but that's just me. The murder of Renee Nicole Good is the all proof that we need that ICE is a threat to all of us, she said. That is why legislation like this is so important. CEO of the Iron Bond Community Corporation said in a statement that the fear of ICE raids keep many families in New York's Iron Bond neighborhood from accessing the services they rely on. From children missing school to, hold on, from children missing schools to seniors surviving without essential support, she said. Legislation helps families to safely get to the help they need to ensure our neighborhoods can rebuild and remain connected. We're Jersey brave. We choose to love our neighbors because that's what faithful people do when fear is loud. The executive director of the Faith in New Jersey, we grieve what this victory cannot repair. The lives already shattered. The loss of Gene Wilson Brutus, whose name we will not let be forgotten. I don't know who that is. During legislative debate, several Republicans voiced opposition to the three bills, saying they protected criminals, ignored the rights of New Jersey's residents. Your standard Republican talking point. State Senate Republican Minority Leader Tony Bucco, a very Italian Jersey name there, said that prohibiting New Jersey law enforcement.
To Kuko or whatever that guy is from CBS.
Yeah. Prohibiting New Jersey law enforcement officers from communicating with federal ICE agents would hurt public safety. Another standard Republican talking point. He said the 2004 final 9/11 Commission report filed in response to terrorist attacks that destroyed the Twin Towers in New York City concluded when these agencies together that is contributing factor to missing information that could lead to preventing serious crime or terrorism. Let's see. He said in recent days in Morris County, ICE agents made several arrests, but local law enforcement had not been informed of their operation, did not know what was going on. I was told if they were to have been notified and were able to participate, it would have gone a lot easier and a lot better, he said. People would have been safer. Democratic Senator, whatever that name is, one of the prime sponsor of the bill said, legislation necessary to promote public safety. He said that any federal agency coming to a New Jersey municipality to carry out a mission, including ICE, should notify local law enforcement that it's doing so, which is not going to happen because ICE has no interest in telling anybody what they're doing. ICE has made a habit of not doing that. Nothing in this bill preclude any federal agency from making those notifications that would further public safety. The bill is designed to make sure dangerous criminals are brought to justice. Many times it requires victims and witnesses to come forward who choose not to even do so when they are in fear of deportation, even if they have committed no wrongdoing, he said. He noted that in many states immigrants are not coming forward because they don't trust the authorities. What we need is to restore that trust between our communities and law enforcement in this state. Blah, blah, blah. After legislation was passed, both houses, New Jersey American Civil Liberties Union, or the ACLU, campaign strategist Amy Kachulia said in a statement that these bills cement a long overdue protection of immigrant New Jerseyans. We urge the governor to pass these bills as written to better protect constitutional rights of all New Jerseyans and make our state stronger and safer. That is what New Jersey and everyone deserves. So, as far as I know, these bills have not been signed into law. I could check to see whether they were or not, but as of now, those bills have not been signed into law. But
the one thing I want to say is that with all the shit that's been going on with ICE and all the other stuff, it just makes me so sick of this country. It makes me want to get out and at least go on vacation to another country. Like I mentioned, I'm interested in going to Dubai, so because at least Dubai you don't see these kind of problems. It's compared to the U.S., It's peaceful, at least. Like, none of these issues, if you know what I mean. So,
well, and I waited till he was done with the article to say this. Like I said, I will use that PA law to the fullest extent of it. And I guarantee you, again, this is where, I've been screaming this from the rooftops, guys. They snuck it in on you. They literally are using ICE is not going after illegals. Let's face it. That's just a fucking excuse.
Oh, yeah.
What they're really going after is they are trying to get martial law in every fucking city because you will either comply or you will die. That is what they are going after. And it's sad to see all this shit. And I just posted on X. I said, I told you guys so. that now they're saying that the staff who is holding all these
Wow.
quote unquote immigrants are
That's
literally
impressive.
they're abusing them. They're committing SA on them. So, and most of them are children. So
And
again, this is
don't forget
one
they
big
arrest-
operation.
Don't forget they arrested that Muhammad guy. I don't remember his name.
And they're going after Native Americans. The
Yeah.
one people that literally were here first. The ICE people
Right.
are less Americans than the Native Americans are. They were here first, guys. So to ICE, I say this. If you come after me and my family, you're going to find what's up. You will meet your God, because you are not going to take my son from me. You will take my son from my cold dead fingers.
So what you're saying is, if you fuck around, you'll find out.
If you fuck around, ICE, you
So-
will find out.
I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with my works, but I've actually been covering the ICE situation for several months, going back to last year
Yeah.
when this all first
No, they're
began.
killing. They're killing them.
Yeah, they are killing people. There have been 32 documented deaths in ICE custody. The New Republic actually came out with an article today about how a detainee's death is actually about to be ruled a homicide. I haven't gotten to look fully into that because I saw it on my lunch break at work. But they are actually going to hold them accountable for hopefully for murder. They killed Renee Nicole Good. They've killed a few months before that in Chicago. There was a dad outside of his daycare named Severio. They killed him right after he dropped his son off at daycare, and they said the same thing, that he tried to run them over with his car, but then there's this like security cam footage showed that same exact thing. They were on the side. They were never in danger. They've been acting as a modern day Gestapo or SS or whatever you want to call them for some time now. It actually kind of upsets me that it had to get this far for people to really see what was happening. And that's not to say you guys, just like in general, like most people weren't talking about this until the Renee Nicole Good thing, because she's not trying to be funny. She's a white woman. And
Yeah.
I say this as a white woman. Like if it was me, it would have been, you know, all over the news, etc., etc. Oh yeah, nurse, white woman, etc. But people like Severio, only a handful of people actually talked about that situation. But this has been going on for quite some time, and now they even have they detained a woman named Patty O'Keefe, and she had like released this video about how they actually have cells set up for U.S. citizens specifically. And I think what's most alarming about that is they are separating the U.S. citizens because they know that they have a ticket out. They don't want them to see what they're doing to these immigrants because they can come out and tell everyone.
Right. This is the biggest pedophile ring we've ever seen. And Kristi Noem is at the helm. Guys, do not be fooled by this. It doesn't matter if they, oh, well, I just saw in the comments, well, you're never going to get deported. That's not the point. This is not, they are not deporting illegals. They are capturing them so they can do stuff like SA. They can do stuff like rape children and traffic them to their pedophile friends. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying.
Had multiple people threaten to call ICE on me because these people, they really do think that ICE is like their own private army. I'm clearly a very Caucasian blonde woman. Like I am an Aryan's wet dream. Okay, I've got blonde hair and blue eyes. And they even threatened to call ICE on me. It's like, it's funny because I'm not going into too many details. And my family are imperialists. Like my family were here at the start of the country. Like my surname, my real surname, is the same surname my family had back 250 years ago. So it's like, if they really want to try to defend America as a country, I technically have more rights than half these fucking ICE agents, but they still threaten to call ICE on me.
Wow. And that's the thing they literally act like it's their own private army. And if you are a dissenter, you don't comply with the government, then they think that you'll just be taken away and treated like every other illegal. Like you are the treasonous person. No. They are the treasonous people.
I'm going to play this in the background.
And they are literally these are people who literally and like I said, with the Native Americans, they're still fucking with Native Americans, as if we haven't killed those people by the millions and took their fucking countries. Because everybody in ICE, everybody in politics, everybody here except for the Native Americans, your ancestors were immigrants. They came over in leaky fucking boats.
And
look how chaotic.
I just want to say something, and also about Kristi Noem. It's like, when I mentioned before, what do this and this said about her. She sounds like she's in her 20s. Oh no. She looks like she's in her 20s, but sounds like she's in her 80s.
But she doesn't look like she's in her 20s. What the hell? Who are you lying to?
That's called a facelift.
Look at
a
this.
facelift.
I don't know what's going on here. I lose track. It's just chaotic. Look at this.
It kind of makes me think of the
It's like,
oh my, I don't know how to describe it. It's
Hmm.
insane. But what was I saying? Sorry, I lost track of my train of thought.
Well, you were an
I'm
Aryan's wet
amazed
dream.
at how chaotic this is.
I technically was born blonde and blue
Look at how
eyes too,
chaotic
so
this is.
I just that the funny thing is I saw something.
Was that a
on
Metal
X.
Gear Solid sound? Did
I
just
have
hear
no
that?
idea.
That's my phone. That's
Yeah.
my text tone.
Okay, I was like,
I
where
saw
did that come
something.
from?
Look at how
I saw something on X where I think Snow posted it, but he was saying how they were going to go after anyone who's anti-capitalism, anyone who's anti-Christian. Well, then come and get me, baby, because I'm not going to be Christian. I refuse to bow down to a God I do not believe in. If that hurts your fucking feelings, ICE and Trump, go fucking suck a dick. I don't care. I am Wiccan and I'm staying that way. I am not going back in the broom closet. It's not going to happen. So if you want to put me in detention because I'm not Christian, then go suck a dick.
I sucks more dick than Destiny.
There you go. There you go. I rest my case.
Destiny's one of the worst
This is from-
cunts ever in the world.
And so is
This
Nick
is from-
Fuentes.
Yeah, Nick.
This is
Oh
from
my
a
god,
couple-
he's really been showing his asses of late. Oh,
Ew.
Now, this is from a couple days ago, where it's another shooting in Minnesota, of course. So this is chaotic here.
And remember, Tim Walz said he said he considered
Oh my gosh.
the National Guard. That's what he said, right?
So I've
By the way,
actually said
this
they
is
need
not-
to bring in the National Guard to protect the citizens for some time, but they're not going to do that. But you know what's crazy
No.
about this shooting is they had let off a green gas that was supposed to be. It was like it looked like
Did
it
they,
was like a tear gas, but
Yeah,
then
did
they
they
ended
tear
up
gas
looking into
an
it.
infant?
Yeah, but it wasn't a normal tear gas. It was a special kind of gas that is like extremely toxic. I can't say the name of it. It starts with an H, but they had
Oh my
done
God.
sample
A
testing. They
baby
are using
Infant
chemical
who did
warfare.
nothing.
Not just on
Yeah.
babies, on everyone, like on all of these citizens, and there's pictures of it. I don't like. I could send it to you
This
guys a
is
link
the
to it.
martial law I was talking about. They're
They're
going
using chemical
Yes.
warfare on infants in American streets. And that's
infants.
something that
And
we're
aren't
not
these the
talking about.
pro-lifers? Where are the pro-lifers? I thought you all were fucking pro-life. Oh no, that only counts with my fucking vagina and my womb, doesn't it? That only counts with fucking women, doesn't it? Oh, and I saw something else. A pastor said, well,
They don't
wives, you have to be
see brown
submissive.
babies as humans, is what that is. They don't.
Oh, okay.
They're not pro-life because they don't see brown babies as humans. They are white nationalists.
Of course.
So
Well, and I saw
We
something
have-
where, hang on, Angel, one more thing. I saw something where a pastor was saying how wives, you have to submit to your husbands, even if you, even when that comes to anything. So basically, if your husband wants to rape you and you don't want to have, if your husband wants to have sex and you don't want to, he just has a right to fucking rape you. He don't care.
So yeah, Pete
Really?
Hegseth, someone he's connected to. I have to look back. It's been a while, but I believe it's like a pastor or something, and they had
Yeah.
shared those views, and he had shared like something of theirs on Twitter, I believe. Yeah, it's disgusting. It's
And it
absolutely
sounds like
disgusting.
he kind of rapes his wife.
Yeah,
So
and
I think
remember when
needs to be investigated.
in 2024 in November when Nick Fuentes got online and was like, "Your body, my choice," bitches or something, and then went and hid and
Yeah.
had his house because people were going to his house. He's a little bitch. Yeah.
Oh,
Remember,
yeah.
liberals-
Where's all those
Remember,
people, too?
liberals used to say the same thing: "My body, my choice," but not for the vaccines. Remember that?
Oh, but then there was also some that are saying, well, my body, my choice. And they're going, except for when it comes to abortions.
Yeah.
No, it is my fucking body, bitch. The child has to be in me, not you. And when
Yeah.
you grow a vagina, then you
Well,
can tell me what
I mean-
I can do with my vagina. Until then, you shut your fucking mouth.
by the way, we have. Let's see, how many likes do we have? We have. I can't find it. 27. We just
Oh.
started. All right.
Oh,
well,
Again, everybody wants a piece of
We're getting
Mrs.
there.
Witchy.
Come on, guys.
Everybody wants a piece of Mrs. Witchy, all right?
let's see. Let's go to some articles here.
Right?
That's right.
Let's go to this
How-
first.
I think
actually.
we're up to like what, 3 sucker dicks? Oh, there's 4.
Yeah, you're 4
Where's
now.
Kieran? Kieran is my counter.
I don't know.
You should put like a little counter on the screen, and then every time you say "suck a dick," like it just goes up one, like ding,
Right.
and there's like a sound.
Yeah, I could probably set it up here, but it's something I have to get around to. Yeah, this is what's going on locally here, kind of. So let's check this out. I have to start it from scratch, though. I think I hate Instagram, but all right, here we go. Let's just.
I can't hear her if you're playing the video.
Start there.
I can't hear the video.
Bad Cookie, shut up. Everybody wants a piece of Mrs. Witchy, all right?
Hey, Angel, if you're playing, we can't
I think
hear.
Bad Cookies is actually stalking me at this
What?
point because he comes to every single video that I'm
Wait,
on and
guys,
talk
guys,
shit.
guys, guys. Angel, we can't hear the audio from the video.
Yeah, are you paying audio? Because
Oh,
we can't
no.
hear it.
Yeah, I will. I'm supposed to be.
Oh,
Probably
you
muted.
had it on mute. That's
Yeah.
why. Yeah.
Ah.
You have to toggle that sound icon. Scroll down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on.
What's on? Oh, okay. I thought it was muted. Oh.
I don't know why you can't hear
No,
sound.
we can't hear sound.
Oh my god! So something. Hold
We
on.
couldn't hear sound through those other videos. We thought you were just kind of, okay, here's
Yeah, I
the-
had a mute, but
You can't even get the
Oh
mic.
God, it's Tina Mayberry. No, Bad Cookies always loves to come and talk to Mrs. Witchy on Angel's show, and he loves to do the sucky dick.
You can't even get the mic to work, man.
Yeah, that's because Bad Cookies likes to suck dick. So
I didn't say it. I didn't say it, Bad Cookies.
you know what? Let's just do
Well, I
this.
guess we got that. We got the SAD sisters here now. I guess.
There you go.
Woo!
You know
at
what?
least I
Let's
don't
just-
have a Trump-like penis like you, Bad Cookies.
Bam! Bam!
Alright.
Or as Jimmy
Why-
Dore used to say, Donnie Tiny Hands.
Tiny, tiny hands. That's right.
I'll have to figure that out later.
He was making fun of me because I have small hands, but I'm a small person. I'm
And
not
he
even 5
said-
foot tall.
And if he said these hands were small, something else might be small. I promise you that's all taken care of.
Yeah, right.
Let's see.
No one wants to
where
see
are
that
we?
shit.
What
He
I
has
wanna
a
read.
detachable
There's
penis.
something-
Ew. Tina Mayberry, go away. No, stay, please. But no offense, but Southern women ain't got nothing on us Northern women.
Oh, and especially that God, I can't remember her name right now, but you know the Haktua girl, you know that voice. Is
Oh
so
God, yeah, I got a on that thing. I'm
She
like,
made a crypto coin and like scammed a bunch of people. and
oh
then
yeah, she
disappeared.
did. Oh yeah, she did.
I never
wow.
understood why she got
Really?
so hot. I never understood why she got so
All right.
hot. I mean, yeah, that was funny before, but it's just like, really? That, like, we're gonna, you know.
But I mean, the fact that I'm like, I said that to Kit. I'm like, Kit, do you want some woman spitting on your cock? I mean, really? Is that turning you on that you want to hock a loogie on some guy's dick? Maybe some guys find that fascinating. My man doesn't. He doesn't want
Okay,
my.
It is one thing, but the way that it was like clearing your throat and getting mucus out, and that's what it makes me think of, like just hawking mucus on someone's throat, and that sounds disgusting.
You know, it's like you got to huck a thing
Let's
on
see
that
here.
day.
So-
I'm like, no. That's
So
unsanitary.
let's get back on track here. I don't need to talk about that anymore.
Oh God, Hawk2 is now in the fucking chat.
Oh, come on, people. Let's get back on track here
Yeah,
because if not, we'll
Get
never
back on topic.
get back on track. So this is. I usually don't like using corporate media articles, but this one was like interesting
Sometimes
to me.
Political does post some good
Bill,
Some-
Bill.
There's some decent work sometimes.
articles.
To get to Maduro, Trump went through Puerto Rico. Once at the
course he
margins, the U.S. territory is now at the center of President Donald Trump's foreign policy. Let's see. Aguadilla, Puerto Rico. Puerto Ricans have a saying, el que se va para Aguadilla pierde su silla. It roughly translates to, if you go to Aguadilla, you will lose your place in line. Actually, the correct translation would be, if you go to Aguadilla, you lose your seat. But, you know, it's not exact translation there.
Also, can I
I'm-
just make a note real fast that Angel is trying to teach me how to talk dirty in Spanish.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of that for now. Aguadilla Excuse me. Aguadilla is a small coastal city in northwestern Puerto Rico, is where my family and I drove January 3rd as we scrambled to get a flight back to the mainland. After the American military operation in Venezuela disrupted travel for tens of thousands of people planning to fly in and out of the U.S. territory. Aguadilla has also been witness to the dramatic American military buildup in the Caribbean that had made Puerto Rico an unexpectedly a major part of Trump administration's newly assertive posture in Latin America. And for whatever comes next in Venezuela following the U.S. capture of Nicolas Maduro. And that's really abduction or kidnapping, but it's just Politico. So what can we expect? 2 weeks after visiting family over Christmas, we woke up in the middle of the night Saturday to make a flight out of Luis Muñoz Marin International Airport. That's in San Juan. It's the main airport of San Juan, the capital. A part of the metro area, which about 2 million people. We have seen reports of bombings in Venezuela, but didn't think it would affect our plans to fly back to Washington. As soon as we arrived at SUJ, that changed quickly. We found that the Federal Aviation Administration had chose to close the airspace to U.S. carriers. Puerto Rico, which roughly 500 miles north of Venezuela. We were stuck at the airport, was quickly descending into chaos. I should have known better. While Puerto Rico has become a major American naval hub during the World War II, the U.S. military presence here has been far smaller since the end of the Cold War. Protests famously led to the Pentagon to halt decades of U.S. Navy practice bombings in the Puerto Rican island of Vieques in 2001 during the Bush years. But as President Donald Trump ramped up pressure on Maduro in the recent months, the U.S. has been sending fighter jets, drones, and other military hardware to the territory, making it a key U.S. staging ground in the region. Some of some of that hardware is at the former bases, like the airport at Aguadilla, two-hour drive from San Juan and about 30-minute drive from my station and Roosevelt Roads. And eastern Puerto Rico has sprung back to life after closing in 2004. The early Saturday operation, in which U.S. aircraft struck targets in Caracas and special forces captured and extradited Maduro and his wife. He was not captured and extradited. He was kidnapped and renditioned. That's called extraordinary rendition. It was a made-up word by the Bush years. So sent shockwaves throughout the region and also affected nearly 50,000 people and planning to go to San Juan Airport, a connection hub to other parts of the Caribbean. During a busy holiday travel day, airlines told some people it may take a week to get them home. As we waited amid the growing cancellations and delays, hoping that the FAA would open the skies, everyone was talking about how the U.S. incursion just hours before, showing each other news stories and videos on their phones. Some were scoffing at what they saw as Trump's bellicose style. Others said good riddance to Maduro. A TV news crew eventually showed up. As a former TV journalist myself, I wonder what took them so long. I overheard some people from the mainland U.S. commenting that Trump shouldn't leave Americans stranded abroad, and saw social media posts to the White House hoping for help. A reminder that many Americans still see Puerto Rico as some foreign land, which is incredible to me. It's 2026, and you're telling me you don't know that Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory still? We don't have a clue in 2026 that Puerto Rico has been a U.S. territory since 1899. It's not a recent thing. It's over 150 years. Excuse me for yelling, but that annoys me to no end.
That was
Nearly
yelling.
120, nearly 128 years.
Voice, that's
You see,
Yeah, I raised my voice a bit, but so nearly 128 years after the U.S. annexed the island following the Spanish-American War, the airspace remained closed to U.S. carriers. Puerto Ricans themselves are obsessed with the territory's relationship with the United States, and discussion about the Trump administration's military buildup has inevitably become part of the debate over its status. Puerto Rico has been a territory since 1898, which is what I just said, and its residents have been U.S. citizens since 1917. But it seems everyone has a different view on how they fit into the American story. How about this? We've been subjugated and been forced to fight in every single war since World War One. About that, that's how we fit in the American story. Um, Trump famously threw paper towels at people after Hurricane Maria slammed in Puerto Rico in 2017. Remember that one where he just said, "There you go. You didn't take that." Let's see, destroying the electric grid and causing damage that is still being repaired nearly 10 years later. At times, he blocked or slowed aid, pointing to the territory's corruption problems, but that doesn't mean Trump doesn't have MAGA fans in Puerto Rico. Some Puerto Ricans have protested the military buildup, others has welcomed it, many of them driving by the sites of military exercises to catch a glimpse. Left-leaning politicians, including Juan Dalmau, a rising star among advocates of Puerto Rican independence, condemned the U.S. operation. Critics have long accused Dalmau of not distancing himself enough from Maduro and used that against him during the 2024 gubernatorial elections. Yeah. So he was running against Jennifer Gonzalez Colon, but of course the pro-Trump Republican won the election there. But Governor Jennifer Gonzalez Colon, the pro-statehood Republican and vocal ally of Trump, who beat Dalmau, cheered the president on as local reporters pressed her about the impacts of tourism and on the economy. Gonzalez Colon was Puerto Rico's lone representative in Congress before moving to La Fortaleza, which is the governor's mansion. That's what the governor mansion's called. As governor of Puerto Rico, I'm proud that Venezuela would finally have peace without narco dictatorship of Nicolas Maduro, totally made up, and his cronies. The U.S. armed forces in our nation may continue to rely on Puerto Rico as a strategic partner in the mission to support our national security and bring stability to our hemisphere, Gonzalez Colon said. I don't know what any of that means. It's just meaningless, flowery rhetoric from Republicans. With Trump now pledging to run Venezuela for the foreseeable future, I don't know how he's going to do that.
If we disagree with that, we're communists and socialists and that shit.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how Trump's going to run Venezuela when the socialists are still in charge, but we'll see how he pulls that off. And the administration putting other regional
on True Social, he shared. You guys may have seen it. He shared a post or whatever that it was showing on Wikipedia. It was showing him as the acting president of Venezuela, and he shared it. Like,
well, he's not. Jesus. The administration is putting other regional leaders on notice about his sudden revival of the 200-year-old Monroe Doctrine.
On my phone, it came up in my mind after Angel Spring.
That partnership is seen likely to grow. Excuse me. First of all, the Monroe Doctrine is not being correctly applied here because it wasn't about subjugating and dominating Latin America. All it was about is James Monroe basically saying, hey, look, enough of European foreign powers interfering in our hemisphere. In other words, the Americas. Monroe didn't want the European empires to interfere anymore. So in other words, that means that it's okay for us to interfere, but not European powers.
Honestly, I'm a little surprised there isn't a sequel to Team America.
Yeah. Spain, which governed Puerto Rico for more than 400 years, considered the archipelago and the fortifications around Old San Juan the key to defending its possession around the Americas. The United States then used Puerto Rico's strategic location as part of the defense of the Panama Canal and to cement its preeminence in the hemisphere. So no matter what, Puerto Rico has always been used to dominate the Americas, whether it be by the Spanish Empire or now the American Empire. So we've always been subjugated by empires. Some Republicans, like Senator Mitch McConnell, have scoffed at the idea of Puerto Rican statehood. Trump is said to have talked about selling or trading the island in the past, but the president's geopolitical posture may have led him to reconsider any animosity. It also helps that the territory as a pro-Trump governor. Our San Juan flight finally canceled. The Uber driver who took us back to our place there for once said Maduro should have given up earlier. He predicted weeks of instability. Who are you? I mean, why would Maduro give up? It's like let's ask. What has
he actually done wrong?
Let's reverse this for a second. It's like, by the way, Donald Trump, you have 1 week to surrender, or else we'll just bomb Washington and take you into our custody. Let's say China does that. How would we react to that? Our citizens, Donald Trump should actually no. To be fair, a lot of our citizens should say, yeah, China, take him. We're done with Trump anyway.
Take Trump, please.
So yeah, I'm right. I shouldn't use that example.
Yeah, people were like, "Yay, Trump's gone!" Oh shit, we got JD Vance. Fuck, now we're all going to be his couches.
I think this Vance actually scares the shit out of me because I've heard that. And I say this because I'm from Ohio and he's from Ohio, and both of our moms were drug addicts. So you'd think we'd be like kidding or whatever, but we're not. JD Vance scares me because it's like I've done actually, and this is gonna sound so insane, and I honestly thought it sounded like conspiracy, but I've done a lot of research on his background, like how he got to where he is now. I mean, of course, we already know that he was like pumped up by Peter Thiel, but it's so much more than that. Like he's directly linked to the Heritage Foundation, and they are directly linked to a church that sits right across the street from the White House called the Catholic Information Center, where the president out the Heritage Foundation, and he's on camera saying this. I have a whole article about it. Goes every single week to get advice on how the government should be ran. And J.D. Vance answers directly to the Heritage Foundation. So the second that Donald Trump dies, the Heritage Foundation will be in full control. They're pretty much letting him have his little, pony show or whatever you want to call it, and letting him enjoy his life, because they know, based off of like his cheeseburgers and his horrible health, he's not going to be alive much longer. Vance was always the plan. They know Trump's not going to live. They used him because he's a figurehead and that he's likable by the ignorance of society. And the plan has always been Vance, and that's you guys have to read that article. I'll link it.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Definitely.
I said in the past that I would be all for impeachment for Trump this time, just because of the amount of shit he's been doing. And yeah, I know we get JD Vance, I understand, but I'm just...
And that would actually be worse, because then I would have to go back in the broom closet, or I will be killed. And I'm not going to do that. I'm a witch. If you don't like it, then kill me. Go for it. But you're going to have to go through my father, my man. You're going to have a lot of people to get through to,
If anyone wants to read my investigative article, and I'm not trying to self-promote, I do apologize if this goes off that way, but I shared it in the comments.
Self-promote.
Okay, that's fine.
Read her
after
stuff
hours,
now.
We found a flight from Aguadilla. We rented the car and raced there, blah, blah, blah. Then we fly to New York, then drove down to our hometown in Washington. While I've seen the growing military presence throughout the island himself at the airport in Ponce, the city in the south, I caught sight of military aircraft parked near the main terminal. I hadn't made it to Aguadilla to see the drones, but my dad kept telling me about it. I think I saw one in the darkness as the airplane prepared to take off around 4 a.m. Sunday. As it turned out, we just missed Maduro himself, because he was apparently at the airport. As many Puerto Ricans suspected, the former airbase at Aguadilla was his first stop on American soil after U.S. Special Forces captured him. Again, you just use abducted or kidnapped or renditioned, whatever you want to use, but captured him makes it sound like legal. In the middle of night, ultimately flew.
I have to play that Jimmy Dore clip yet again.
Flew him to New York to await trial in Brooklyn jail on narco-terrorism and drug trafficking charges. The photo Trump shared on social media of a blindfolded Maduro showed him holding a bottle of what appeared to be Nikini brand water, widely available in Puerto Rico. Yeah, that's what it seemed like to me when I saw it.
That kind of sounds like bikini, like they're out there in bikinis.
Yeah, it's a local water brand out there. So yeah, so that's the article. Again, we're using the administration's using Puerto Rico to do everything they want to do in Latin America. And independence or statehood, forget about any of that. That's not going to happen. So we'll continue being a possession of the American empire, and there isn't much that anybody can really do about it, because Trump isn't going to give it up, and there's zero chance in hell any of that happens. So
I get where you're coming from, but it's also I want people to realize humans, we have more power than we give ourselves credit for, right? Because Donald Trump is a jackass, and he has a lot of power, but he's not as powerful as he thinks he is. As a collective, there are way more of us than there are of them, and if we all were to work together and even just do something like a general strike, we could shut this country down. Americans really don't realize their power, and that we have so much that we really just need to take the reins and just take the power back from these fucking Nazi fucks.
Yes, I totally agree with that. And what I've been saying is, even unfortunately, we won't have the sheeple with us, because they will be going to the gas chambers going, "Oh, gas me, daddy. Please gas me, daddy. Trump, I'll suck your dick." That's what they'll be doing. But, that's okay. There's still a lot more of us that don't want to martial law. We don't want all that stuff.
I feel like there's such this large, and I apologize if I keep interjecting and interrupting. I have ADHD and I'm autistic as well, so I'm not really good with social cues. But I have noticed that there's this large astroturfing bullshit that's online. We actually kind of covered it briefly on the Pro segment last time, but there is a large effort of botnets, and fake accounts, sock accounts that are going online and pushing these narratives. But then if you really look at the things that are happening, like when Renee Good was killed, her family earned over $1.5 million in her GoFundMe. That guy at the Ford factory, he's earned a couple $100,000. People are, as a collective, we're seeing tons of people come out into the streets of Minnesota, into the like protests. Like when I was here in Columbus, I seen firsthand there was at least 1,000 people outside of their hotel just to keep them awake. So I think that what we're seeing online and what we're seeing on the TV is not the truth of what's actually happening. I think that they're showing us this bullshit narrative, like of all these people that want this, to make us think that it's the general consensus, like, oh, this is what's actually happening. I think the majority of people don't stand for these things, and I think that if people realize how many people really are fighting back against this, then they would be more inclined to join in.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't agree more with Bloom.
I do want to just say one thing. Lady Alex, who are these so-called indie progressive shows you're talking about?
What?
And you'll see it just for a little bit down.
Okay.
Says I've not been banned.
Love y'all. All right. So the Trump administration is threatening to use the Insurrection Act to stomp down the protesting in Minneapolis or Minnesota.
Yep, this is literally what I was saying during the George Floyd protests when they were trying to quash them too.
Don't forget that officer who made that angry, right? It's like, we're not criminals, we're not killers.
Yeah. And I love Jimmy Dore goes, shut up.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to get martial law. They've already gotten us to this point where they're ready to. We're one step away from this martial law where you will comply or you will die.
Hold on a second. Savvy Sabs, fake indie progressive. Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know. I don't watch Savvy Sabs. I'm sorry.
Savvy Sabs.
I have not watched her in so long. I don't know what she does now.
I'm brand new to this scene. I barely know who that is.
You don't know Savvy Sabs, the one who's
so before I started writing just because I wanted to write a while ago. I blew up on Substack and Indie found me, but honestly, like, I'm brand new to all this. Like, I've been maybe like doing shows and stuff for 6 months, give or take. So I don't know anyone. Like, I'll hear all these stories and they're like, you don't know this person. I'm like, no.
And I hope you will keep writing, Bloom, because what you say, I mean, we've read some of your articles on here. That's why I was like such a big fan. I'm like, wait, that's Dissident in Bloom? We got to get her on the show. And I was just like, and then I saw you on Snow Show. I was like, oh, yes. So I think it was like our fans of you first. So
let's go back to the article. I have 33 likes, which is the most ever gotten live.
Come on, guys.
Oh, come on. 7 more, baby. And this is when she perfect goes topless. All right.
The president considers using federal law to deploy the military in Minneapolis, where protests have been going on after 2 shootings by federal agents within a week. United States President Donald Trump has threatened to invoke a rarely used federal law to deploy troops in the state of Minnesota, where protests are being held against the 2 shootings in the city of Minneapolis within a week after related to his immigration crackdown. If the corrupt politicians in Minnesota don't obey the law and stop professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking the patriots of ICE who are only trying to do their job, I will institute the Insurrection Act, which many presidents have done before me. No, they haven't. And quickly put down the travesty that has been taking place in that once great state, Trump wrote on social media on Thursday, referring to Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency. By the way, no U.S. president ever actually used the Insurrection Act, as far as I know. The only one, it was passed, when was it passed? Under John Adams, I think it was, and it's
like
barely
I said,
been yet.
I thought Joe Biden was awful as president, but holy shit, he looks like an angel right now compared to Trump.
Trump posted the comment a day after federal agents shot and wounded a Venezuelan man in Minneapolis. The federal agent said 2 people attacked him with a shovel and broom handle as he wrestled with the Venezuelan, who the Trump administration said was in the U.S. illegally. So there are 2 people that attacked this ICE agent with a broom and shovel handle, and he had to shoot them. Is that what I'm understanding? I didn't even know about this until just now. Let's see. Deadly shooting a week incident further stoked tensions a week after the ICE agent fatally shot 37-year-old Renee Good and a U.S. citizen in her car in Minneapolis. The killing of the mother of 3 in the Trump administration description. Is that supposed to be description? I don't know. Description of her as a domestic terrorist.
It's a depiction. Yeah.
Yeah, depiction.
Yeah, okay. They called her, quote, domestic terrorist, sparked global outrage, leading to demonstrations across the U.S. Smoke-filled street in Minneapolis on Wednesday night near the site of the latest shooting as federal officers wearing gas masks and helmets fired tear gas into the small crowd of protesters, threw rock and shot fireworks. The U.S. president has repeatedly threatened the use of the Insurrection Act to deploy the U.S. military or federalize the National Guard for domestic law enforcement over the objections of state governors. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey described the situation as not sustainable. By the way, this is the guy that demanded ICE get the fuck out of his city. I'm saying that verbatim. And then he went on corporate media and turned around and said, "Well, there's nothing really we could do about ICE.
Oh, God.
Please, I mean,
yeah, he's against the abolishing of ICE.
Yeah,
so he said, get the fuck out of our things, get out of our state
ICE was established in 2003. We've lived without ICE before. We can live without ICE again.
Yeah,
exactly. And then this guy turns right around and says, "Oh, but I'm not for
I wouldn't abolish it."
And you wonder why the Democrats have an awful approval rating as well.
And also, like, just to add on to this, multiple presidents actually have invoked the Insurrection Act. I mean, George Washington did, Thomas Jefferson, Andrew Jackson, Ulysses Grant to suppress the KKK, Woodrow Wilson, even JFK and Richard Nixon. I think the last person to do it was George Bush in 1992, but it's actually been invoked multiple times. And I will let you finish this article, but I want to talk more about what the Insurrection Act actually is and why it's not as scary as they're making it seem.
Okay, no, I mean, I appreciate the history lesson. I thought I was wrong.
Sorry, that's my special interest is history.
No, it's fine. I mean, shit, I just learned something new. Because I keep thinking to myself, well, they never used it, have they? As far as I know. So I'm glad I learned that. This is an impossible situation that our city has been presently put in, and at the same time, we're trying to find a way forward to keep people safe, protect our neighbors, and maintain order, he said, which is meaningless rhetoric. Fry described a federal force that is 5 times bigger than the city's 600-officer force as having invaded our city, quote-unquote, scarring and angering residents, some of whom want local officers to, quote-unquote, fight ICE agents, which is not going to happen. Let's see. At the same time, the police force is still responsible for the day-to-day work to keep the public safe. The Department of Homeland Security, DHS, has said has made more than 2,000 arrests in Minnesota since early December and is promising not to back down. The DHS accused Fry and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, both Democrats, of encouraging resistance to ICE with quote-unquote hateful rhetoric, a contention Fry in particular rejected. Disputing accusations of misconduct, the DHS has said that its agents have increasingly been subjected to assaults while trying to find and detain immigration violators. Speaking at a news conference alongside Fry, Minneapolis Police Chief Ryan O'Hara urged crowds he described as engaging in unlawful acts near the shooting scene to disperse. We do not need to escalate this further, the police chief said. O'Hara. So yeah, there you go. Minnesota is completely falling apart. We are seeing basically an occupation. That's the best way I can describe it.
This is the, as you said, Angel, this is literally the guinea pig or the trial run in Minneapolis or Minnesota. Then this is what they're starting with. They're going to see how everyone literally reacts to this. And if it's good, then they'll do more cities. If it's bad, then they'll pull back like they did before, you know? But we have to keep fighting this. We cannot let these guys declare martial law on us, where we comply or die.
Did Mitch lose a lot of weight?
Yeah, it's called whoever his handlers are.
Well, Mitch McConnell's been
look a little thinner at least.
He's been in the Senate since what, 1986? Since I was like 40 years.
I mean, we were freaking born.
Yeah. Trump administration apologizes for deporting college students flying home for Thanksgiving. So this is a big mistake here they made. The Trump administration during court proceedings earlier this week apologized for deporting a student attempting to fly home for Thanksgiving break last year. Babson College student Amy Lucia Lopez Belosa was detained on November 20th at Boston Logan International before boarding a flight to surprise her family in Texas for the holiday. Lopez Belosa, who entered the U.S. as a child, was sent back to Honduras days after being detained despite a judge's November 21st order to keep her in Massachusetts or somewhere else in the U.S. for at least 72 hours, according to the Associated Press. So let's just openly ignore judges' orders and like, oh yeah, let's just send her back to Honduras, even though she doesn't really belong there. Trump administration filed a January 2nd declaration.
Just play the Benny Hill theme.
Yeah, I'm hearing a noise in my headphones.
I heard it.
It's gone now.
I
The Trump
was saying,
administration.
at this point, you just play the Benny Hill theme. Just how crazy.
Well, yeah. The Trump administration filed a January 2nd declaration notifying the court that the Immigration and Customs Enforcement officer failed to let officials in Port Isabel, Texas, know that Lopez Calabosa's removal needed to be canceled. So let's just throw a random ICE officer under the bus. Like, oh, yeah, it's his fault. He didn't tell the other officers that her deportation was canceled. So instead of having the politicians, the leaders take responsibility, let's just throw a random ICE agent under the bus. However, the officer admitted he believed the judge's order did not apply once Lopez Calabosa was no longer in the state. That's not how it works. I mean, a judge's order is a judge's order. Assistant U.S. Attorney Mark Sauter said during a Tuesday hearing on behalf of the government, we want to sincerely apologize, adding that the employee understands he made a mistake, according to the AP. Oh, yeah, simple mistake. I'm sorry you got deported to a country that you actually don't belong in and don't live in. Hopefully that young girl was fluent in Spanish, because or else she probably had massive issues.
They were reading an apology from a letter or whatever. They were reading it.
Yeah, it was a sincerely insincere apology.
Yeah, I have to say, go suck a dick.
Sauter said the removal was a result of an inadvertent mistake by one individual, not a willful act or violating a court order. No, Your Honor, we would never actually violate your court order. It was a total accident. Please believe us.
Angel, why are you not on screen?
I took myself off.
Okay. What disappeared?
Yeah,
I accidentally turned off my webcam.
She'll be back too, so
Okay, she'll be back. Despite the controversy, the Trump administration maintained. Hold on, I'll bring her back in now.
Yes, lady.
Give me a second. Bear with me 1 second. No, I'm gonna do this like this because I can't see because I have it like minimized, so it's hard for me to see. All right, there we go.
Oh,
there you go.
What's going on? Witchy left.
I don't know where she went. What the hell happened here? Did she leave or did I kick her out by mistake?
I mean, she didn't say she was leaving.
I might have kicked her out by mistake. Hold on.
You kicked me out. What the heck?
This is not working.
Okay.
Sorry.
Now we're back in business.
Sorry, my mic disconnected and then my camera, and I wasn't able to do anything.
Oh, here we go.
All good, all good.
Or
sorry about
as
that.
Bongino would do. You know that.
Put him up.
Sorry, that was. Despite the controversy, the Trump administration maintained that he believed Lopez Pelosa's deportation was lawful, citing a decision from an immigration judge in 2016 ordering the removal of her mother. An appeal was dismissed a year later. An appeal was dismissed. Okay. I was hoping that the government would show some leniency and bring her back. They violated a court order. Her lawyer, Todd Parlamilu, said to the AP. Still, U.S. District Judge Richard Stern said that she was a victim of a tragic bureaucratic mistake. So the judge is buying this bullshit story about how it was a bureaucratic error.
Well, the judges are in the back pockets of the rich.
That's what they said about Kilmar Abrego Garcia too.
Yeah. But the federal judges are ultimately politicians because they want to be promoted by future U.S. presidents. So they're not going to rock the boat too much. They're going to do pretty much what
So
they're
keep
told.
in mind, the Federalist Society placed a lot of federal judges, and not just Scottish judges, like general federal judges have been placed
Yes.
into our judicial system from the Federalist Society. And that's literally, that's like the whole dark money network right there. Like they have been putting their plants into our system for years.
So the Trump administration, his legacy will be all of these judges that will be on the bench for the rest of our lifetimes. Because a lot of these judges are what, in their 50s? They're going to be around 30 years at least. And a lot of them will be promoted to higher and higher benches to the point where we'll see a Democratic president choose one of these guys for the Supreme Court. And they'll be like, oh, we're bipartisan. Here's a Federalist Society member for the U.S. Supreme Court. So a
Don't
future
forget
Democratic
that
president.
viral moment recently where Trump was at that meeting and he saw behind him on the window. He went out and looked, whatever that was. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Late last year, Lopez Pelosa was questioned by the Trump administration's motive following her removal and other deportation of international students.
So that's why? Because she questioned them?
Why is President Trump getting people who are living in the United States working day and night, people like me who are in college doing their dreams, having an education?
Fucking dead.
She said in an interview with ABC News. It feels unfair, she told ABC. Even if there was an order, then why did everything happen to me so fast within 3 days? So...
Because they don't give a fuck about you. You will own nothing, be happy, eat sea bugs, and then you will die.
What is the like count right now?
Count? My count? My SAD count?
Yeah.
I think it's at 10, I think.
No. Angel announced
the like? You're talking about the like count?
Oh, the like count. I thought you said
let me see.
It's like a dick count. Oh, there's another one.
There you go. 38.
Oh, we're close, guys. 2 more. 2 more.
I can't believe we're at 38 likes. Well, thank you for all the likes, but let's see. Let's do that.
Were you saying something, Witchy? I couldn't hear you or stuff. Come on, guys.
Let's see. Where are we? Why?
You people just want to see titties. That's your thing. Hey, again, everybody wants a piece of Mrs. Witchy, all right?
And also some hot lesbian action.
Well, I'm not a lesbian, so you have to go find your own lesbian. So there you go. Because I'm not a lesbian.
I mean, I'm bisexual, but I don't think my husband would appreciate me doing lesbianism.
Exactly, my husband wouldn't either.
In Bloom, in case you didn't know what I was referencing, it was
wrestling. Yeah, I know, but
the U.S.
No, I was talking to Bloom about it.
Does Bloom watch professional wrestling at all, or has ever?
I'm going to be honest, not since I was much younger. My cousin was obsessed with it, and we watched it back then, but I haven't watched it in, like 12, 13 years.
Later, tomorrow or Sunday, whichever.
The U.S.
It's tomorrow. Depending if we can do it again. We've had some issues.
Now, wait a minute. I will be there. Pro Wrestling Talk will be there.
I'm just pointing it out. But
the U.S.
on Saturdays, if you can come tomorrow, it's Pro Wrestling Talk at 8 Eastern. I join it at 9 Eastern.
So it depends, because we're actually going to be moving the Prolapil to Saturday at 6 for something we're trying.
Oh,
so it just depends on how that goes, or how long that goes.
You and Snow are always welcome. I know we talk about professional wrestling, we talk about the old wrestling, we talk about the new wrestling, even if the new wrestling is kind of.
I would be very much out of the loop. Like, I think the last time I watched wrestling was when John Cena and like Randy Orton and all of those people.
Oh God, John Cena! Yeah. He just left.
So that's when I join it at 9 Eastern, and you can't too. That's when
you can just watch clips, because apparently I stopped watching in 2004 after I graduated from high school, and now they're showing me clips of like 2005, 2006.
It's aggression era, pretty much. That's what it was.
Yeah, I wasn't really watching. I watched the old stuff, like with Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Mr. Perfect. I'm a Mr. Perfect fan, Angel likes Bret Hart.
and my favorite wrestler was The Undertaker.
There you go.
Undertaker was pretty cool.
He was.
Yeah, the U.S. military's annual suicide report is missing, and the Pentagon isn't offering any answers on why. The Pentagon, let's see. A critical source of U.S. data's military suicide prevention efforts is late. The annual suicide report, where the Department of Defense typically publishes each fall, provides suicide statistics for the previous calendar year that informs Congress, researchers, and senior leaders across the services on efforts to combat military suicide is a persistent problem. The Defense Department has also delayed the releasing of its quarterly suicide data for 2025, with the third quarter's figures still unpublished, months later than usual. Business Insider queried the Pentagon in mid-December about the anticipated release date of the annual report. The department has nothing to announce at this time, a spokesperson replied in an email. We will follow up if anything changes. When asked again this week why the report is delayed and when it might be published, the Pentagon did not respond. Business Insider sent a separate email inquiry to the Defense Suicide Prevention Office, which releases the report, but the office did not respond. It is unclear whether the delay is tied to the government shutdown. It's been 3 months. You don't need that long to release a report. They don't want to release it for a reason. Though the data is beneficial, the month-long delay is unlikely to significantly affect research prevention efforts. Said this dude is a principal investigator in long-term Army suicide and study, a professor of healthcare policy at Harvard Medical. He said researchers depend more frequently on the detailed data that reveals patterns and circumstances around deaths. The bigger issue is tied to accountability, public transparency, and oversight. Publishing is letting the outside world know what's going on, and that's useful for holding organizations accountable. The DoD and the Department of Veterans Affairs have each tried to improve suicide prevention efforts, Kessler said, highlighting a project that he's involved in that is testing whether artificial intelligence can effectively identify people at risk for suicide. This is going to be a problem because do we really want to trust AI? Do we really want to trust AI to tell us who's going to kill themselves and who isn't?
Did everyone see that in chat now? All right. Did y'all see that?
Speaking of AI, I'm sure you heard about this, Angel, that NVIDIA is discontinuing the 5070 Ti card because of their focus on AI or something. I think you heard about that.
They're all moving towards AI. That AI bubble is going to burst, and everybody's stock prices are going to do this.
They're done, bitches.
So we are at 40 likes now.
There was done. You guys missed it because you were reading. You're gonna have to watch the stream again. Sorry.
Do it.
I did.
Oh, you did?
You missed it. You're gonna have to go watch the stream again.
I did not. I'm reading the article. I don't know what people are doing. So
all right, I'll do it one last time for everybody. All right, I'll be right back.
Identified the annual reports reveal the level of progress to still show where further work is needed. It's important for the data to be out there, not to ever be a point where we say what's not being shown anymore. It is good.
All right, ready?
Public...
You got to stop for a second. Ready?
All right.
1, 2, 3. La 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 la. All right, dare receive.
There you go. Congrats, 40 likes. Suicide deaths among service members rose during the COVID-19 pandemic. And the most recent data available from calendar year 2023 showed a small increase over the prior year. According to the Defense Suicide Prevention Office, military suicide deaths have increased gradually since 2011. So, in other words, the whole point of this is the military don't want to release these numbers because I suspect the suicide numbers are spiking up, and and they don't want to do anything about it, and they don't want to be held accountable for it. So
they don't care about self-deletion.
We're just
not
going to release it ever. So
yeah,
it's piss off. Right?
They would rather you self-delete so they don't have to delete.
Just like the Epstein files.
They're going to hide any numbers that don't reflect positively on them, just like the bullshit job counts. Like, think back to the fact that they fired the person from the Department of Labor because they wouldn't give false numbers.
Right. Yeah. The Trump administration doesn't care about the truth. They want their truth out.
You want
their truth.
Shave my chest? That's what you want to do, Lord?
Yeah, let's not talk about
yes.
Yeah, let's talk about this instead. 5 U.S. lawmakers are investigated over warning troops about illegal orders. So remember, there were 5 Democrats who came out and said that the military doesn't have to follow illegal orders. So of course, Trump administration turned around and said that was illegal, and I'm not sure they called it treason or the exact language they used, but it's now these 5 lawmakers under investigation for saying the most obvious thing of all time. And quite frankly, since they're Democrats, and I don't like Democrats, whatever. 5 United States legislators say they have been contacted by the Department of Justice after posting a video on social media calling on members of U.S. military intelligence agencies to refuse and follow illegal orders. The legislators, Elisa Slotkin, U.S. Representatives Jason Crow, Maggie Goodlander, Chrissy Houlihan, and Chris Deluzzo, all Democrats who previously served in the military, CIA, naval intelligence. In other words, these are all spooks who became politicians that are running their mouths about how don't follow legal orders. Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure all of these fuckers worked for the Bush administration and Obama administration, they all gladly followed their legal orders though. So hypocrisy is abound.
I remember all these Democrats who hate Trump, they still vote for his bills and all that stuff. So.
Oh, they'll vote. They'll vote for the $1.5 trillion military budget this year. They'll vote. Hell, they'll even throw a couple $100 billion in there in order to make it 1.7 billion, or in order to even though Trump asked for 1.5. The legislatures released a video in November. I remember that video. I think we covered it. As U.S. forces carried out airstrikes on vessels in the Caribbean and the Pacific. And the U.S. President Donald Trump ordered the National Guard to deploy to major U.S. cities and to crack down on undocumented migrants and crime. Quote unquote, this administration is pitting our uniformed military intelligence community professionals against American citizens, the lawmakers said in a video. No one has to carry out orders that violate the law and our Constitution, they said. Following the release of the video, President Trump accused legislators of seditious behavior punishable by death in a post to his true social media platform. So there you go. Donald Trump is threatening execution to these lawmakers. There's nothing going to happen. But
what the fuck did I do, guys?
Do you guys not remember when he said he could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot someone?
And nothing would ever happen. Yep.
He knew that he could get away with this kind of shit a very long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's because he's rich, and there is a 2-tiered system in this country, and the rich get away with everything and the poor get away with nothing.
Oh yeah, I was actually watching a short earlier. It was kind of silly, but it was like showing like basically crimes like for the same, like depending on what your income is. And it was like rich people would be like marijuana possession, poor prison, rich 2 months probation. It was just like asinine.
Mm-hmm. Well, look what they did for that. What the hell was his name? Something Brock.
Brock Turner. He raped that.
Yeah, Brock Turner. Yeah, he got 6 months.
He had a strong future in front of him
because he was a football star, or he was going to be a big star in football, or so they thought. Yeah.
Wait,
and they gave him 6 months.
Are you sure it's not Brock Lesnar?
No, I'm sure. Yeah, because he also is. He also has reportedly done
Jenner. Also, Caitlyn Jenner committed vehicular homicide, and they got away with it. So
yeah, because she's a star. She's a celebrity.
Yeah.
At first, I thought you were talking about Caitlyn Johnstone for a second. I was like,
no. She is a legit woman.
No, I've only seen her in like screenshots that him both sent me. I don't know anything.
No, of course he was trying to corrupt the poor woman.
The FBI.
Pete Buttigieg, maybe JD Vance. Oh god, that's gonna be awful.
Ew.
Oh god.
Where are they having a twosome? Ugh.
The FBI opened an inquiry in November into the 5 legislators plus Senator Mark Kelly of Arizona, who has also appeared in the video, according to CBS News. Kelly, in particular, has faced a series of actions for appearing in the video that critiques describe as an unconstitutional attack on his First Amendment right to free speech. Shortly after the video came out, the Defense Department announced it had opened an investigation into Kelly and warned that the senator could face a court-martial depending on the results, because Mark Kelly is still his name, and he's still in the military technically. So earlier this month, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said he was seeking to demote Kelly from the rank he reached at his retirement, as well as to reduce his retirement pay. So because he appeared in a video that the administration didn't like, now they're trying to demote him and reduce his retirement pay. I don't care because he's in the Senate and he's powerful. But if it were any other U.S. military member, I have a big problem with that.
Honestly, I
my-
think we should still care even if we don't necessarily like these people, because it's setting this precedent that it's an okay thing to do, and it's maybe someone we don't like now, but the next time it could be someone like us, and it's just not. It's a really shitty thing to do.
It is really
Anyone.
a shitty thing to do because, again, the poor people, well, us poors, again, you will own nothing, be happy, and eat sea bugs.
Yeah, I see your
I grew up
point,
very
but at
poor.
the same time, I don't like
Bill, you're gonna
politicians,
have to
is
go back
why-
and watch the stream.
I
Bill, I already did it.
like politicians either, but my fear is just like, I guess, the precedent that it sets, right? Because it's like, I fucking hate, like, what the fuck is her name? Oh my gosh, many of these politicians that are named in this article have like been explicitly pro-Israel, anti-Gaza, and I'm very much against them. Like, I hate these fucking politicians, but I think that they should be imprisoned for that. I don't think they should be in prison because they told the military not to step up to illegal orders. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I can like hate the person, but really hate what's happening, because it's maybe someone I don't like now, but then it's going to move on to someone that's different after. Like, think about it in the way that what they've been doing to the immigrants, right? Like, I care about immigrants, but not a lot of people do. A lot of people are very fucking selfish, so they get away with this shit with the immigrants, and then they moved on to the American citizens. If we don't speak up when it's happening to someone else, then it's going to happen to us next.
Well,
sorry, I'm going on a tangent. I apologize.
No, it's okay. I mean, shit,
I
you're
don't know
right.
if I mentioned it to you before, but, and maybe this is who you were talking about, but I was a Tulsi Gabbard supporter when she ran for president. I thought she was the best.
And we still love him.
No. Oh, yeah. I thought you said something else.
No, we still love you.
Yeah. I used to be a Tulsi Gabbard supporter, but, after what she's done lately, it's just not anymore.
Believe it or not, I used to be what Indy likes to call a shit lip. It wasn't until very recently that I started to read into things and learn more.
I was
so
too,
I think we all just grow, right?
Yeah. I watched Kyle Kalinske and thought he was real.
Yeah. Unlike the fake progressives who still support Bernie and AOC and all those stupid politicians.
Bernie Sanders, give me money.
And this is what I say, and I'm nothing against you, Bloom, but unfortunately, my thing is right now in Washington, you have, and I actually have the audio books for volume 1 and 2 of One Nation Under Blackmail. Whitney Webb, please check that out. She is a great author. And what I've learned from her books is basically everyone in Washington and Hollywood are fucking connected. And they are all pedophiles.
I've learned that in my research, actually. Like, I mean, that sounds like a fantastic book, and I will absolutely look into it. I've heard nothing but good things about Whitney Webb. But I've learned a lot of this in my own research too, because it's like, as I was just looking into things, like I was looking into the who, what, when, where, why kind of thing, and I would just find like all these connections, and I was like, holy fucking shit! Like, I can't believe that this is connected. Like, and then it all starts to make sense.
Everybody knew who Jeffrey Epstein was, and don't let them fool you. Democrat, Republican, they all knew. So that tells me that everybody in Washington, everybody in Hollywood is either a fucking pedophile or they are enabling pedophiles. So I'm sorry,
it's
I can't.
Like that Bo Burnham song where he's like, the police are basically there to protect the police are only there to protect the pedophilic corporate elite.
That's it. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
On Monday, Kelly said he filed a lawsuit against the DOD and Hexeth for putting a campaign of punitive retribution and it tramples over free speech rights. It is unknown whether Kelly is also being investigated by the DOJ, Trump's political cronies, blah, blah, blah. So in other words, those politicians are being put through hell because they dared to go against Trump and basically saying, don't do illegal orders. Wow. Very unimpressive, very
I agree with Lady Alex. It's so
pathetic.
Shit lips gushing over Mandana. I mean, he even sold out even before he won, which is just amazing.
No, I don't have an obsession. I just know that like I said, from the book from Whitney Webb, that I can't trust anybody in Washington because, again, just because Jeffrey Epstein supposedly was deleted, quote unquote, self-deleted, it doesn't mean that there aren't other people. Like, look at Diddy. Diddy is a Jeffrey Epstein 2.0. If you know anything about his trial and stuff. And again, nobody went to jail. Even though he caught a bunch of people with their pants down, so to speak.
Don't forget it was James Comey's daughter who prevented from.
Right. So, I mean, it's not an obsession. It is literally a warning to people out there that Whitney Webb knows her stuff. And if she says everyone in Washington is fucking connected to pedophilia, trust me, she knows her shit. So she is literally out there doing the research for you. And it's not really an obsession. It's more of a warning. Hey, these guys are pedophiles. They are going to try to steal all these kids. Look what they did in Lahaina, Maui. Look what they did in East Palestine, Ohio.
Yeah.
I mean, kids just up and disappear.
I wanted LA last year.
Yeah. Kids just mysteriously disappear.
Look at that.
No, I'm sorry.
Right now we have 46 likes. So almost 50. Jesus.
Hey, I did as promised, baby. Mwah.
Huh?
Hey, what's that W fan clip I just saw, Angel?
Anyway, I said at 100 likes, me and Alex give Angel a lap dance.
What?
Yeah, I don't know like how that's like physically gonna work, but I'm intrigued.
That means that me and Alex have to fly to. Well, I don't have to fly. I could probably just drive to New Jersey.
So it's this. Yeah, this is.
I'm in Ohio, but I'm glad I'm not part of this like last dance.
I'm not
a little defensive there. No,
I'm not a
excited
though. So
I'd like to see Alex just kind of shake his dick around a little bit, then me get up and like that.
Helicopter dick, like.
If he's got it, I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
So this is an article from the 1983 U.S. intervention in Grenada confirmed the imperialist will to power. So,
geez, none of us were born.
Yeah, the ghosts of the Cold War have returned to the Caribbean. On January 3rd, 2026, in the name Operation Absolute Resolve, U.S. forces bombed Venezuela and in Action Caracas denounced this as a crime against its sovereignty. For anyone in Latin America, the script feels painfully similar, an old imperial playbook dressed up in language as law enforcement and quote-unquote democracy. To understand why the U.S. military now claims the right to arrest the leadership of a sovereign state, it's necessary to look back 42 years to a small Caribbean island, Grenada. The 1983 invasion was not a minor Cold War episode. It was a blueprint for today's open violation of Latin American Caribbean sovereignty, from Point Salinas to Caracas. In 1983, 1,700 U.S. troops invaded the tiny Caribbean island of Grenada after a violent power struggle engulfed the country's Cuban-backed ruling party. Although a number of Caribbean states support the invasion, the world community, including several U.S. allies, condemn it. Ronald Reagan invaded Grenada, so even the great Reagan did imperialism and regime change wars. Every time I say regime change wars, every time I say regime change war, it reminds me of Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, exactly.
The attack of Venezuela and the capture of President Maduro and First Lady Flores are being sold to the U.S. public as a quote-unquote surgical strike against quote-unquote narco-terrorism and a wanted fugitive, quote-unquote fugitive president. We talked about this last week, but the first person I've heard say the word narco-terrorist is Joe Biden in 1989 when he's running for president. Or no, this is after he ran for president. The first time, I mean. Seen from the South, however, it looks like the Monroe Doctrine reborn. Washington once again assumes they can decide who governs in the Americas and under what terms. In 1983, Ronald Reagan launched Operation Urgent Fury in Grenada to restore order and allegedly protect U.S. medical students. Where have we heard this before? In Nigeria, Donald Trump is claiming he's protecting American Christians, and we've seen this all around the world. In the first Gulf War,
let's make America great again, and then make America great again.
Yeah, in the first Gulf War, we had that bullshit story about the nurse who allegedly saw Iraqi troops stomping the heads of babies. That was a blatant lie in order to get us into the first Gulf War. Remember that? So just lie after lie. In the second Iraq War, the second Gulf War, what was the excuse? Weapons of mass destruction. And it turns out there was no weapons of mass destruction. In fact, Saddam Hussein.
The evidence right here. This was the evidence.
Yeah, Saddam Hussein destroyed the weapons of mass destruction after the first Gulf War. And even Scott Ritter was there at the time. He saw nothing, and they still invaded anyway. So it's like, I'm going to get the Scott Ritter after this, but I'm not sure you guys heard, but his Citizens Bank, they debanked him, and he lost all his money. So
even though he went full shit lib, he literally sold out. I was so upset about that.
I think he has gotten better as of late.
Okay, well that's good, but he still was like, wasn't he? Oh, we love Israel, that kind of thing.
It's not the correct term. It was more like
he sold out like Jesse.
Maybe.
Yeah, you can argue that.
I was
Yeah.
thinking of a Republican term. I couldn't think which one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad he didn't go full on shitlib.
Yeah.
Well, they debanked him. His bank debanked him. So obviously he said something that pissed off his bank or
Did he
pissed
really
off the
vote for
government. I don't know
really?
whether he
We
voted.
Ritter
shouldn't
voted for
trust
Trump?
banks in the first place. Like, honestly, I'm waiting on my debit card.
Man,
And
if
as
he
soon as
voted
it
for
comes to the
Trump,
plan is to pull all my money out
Oh,
of
Bill,
my
I don't
account.
remember. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to go back through. It was like what 20
And
minutes
just in
ago.
case, I know some people have said this before. No, Jimmy Dore did not vote for Trump. Just in case people.
No, it said Ritter voted for.
I know.
Trump.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know
I was
about
like, wait,
Scott Ritter,
what?
I was saying I've seen comments before about how they said Jimmy Dore voted for Trump.
I don't know. I've stopped watching Jimmy Dore. I've been so busy. That's my problem.
Like
Yeah,
I
in
told you, go
2020
watch his clips and you'll see that he hasn't sold out. So.
And in 2026, Trump presents Operation Absolute Resolve as a law enforcement action with military support. What is it with all these names? Operation this, Operation that. Like we're some kind of tough guys here. But the military support, Trump era corollary to the same doctrine, where U.S. executive unilaterally declares which governments are legal and which leaders can be seized. The continuity is striking. The invasion of Grenada was condemned in the United Nations as a flagrant violation of international law.
Award to Scott Ritter, everyone.
With 108 states in the General Assembly voting to deplore the armed intervention and demand respect for the island's sovereignty. Today, the strike on Venezuela, carried out without Security Council authorization, again runs against the UN Charter. Basic principle of non-intervention has already triggered a wave of criticism, which the Americans give zero fucks about. Like everybody's like, basically, we're all writing a strongly worded letters to Washington, like, "How dare you do these interventions?" It's like, oh, okay.
And then they don't do anything on it. It's like, okay, fine.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
the
nothing we
United
can
Nations
do.
has absolutely no power because when
No,
America
they have
has
zero
no
power.
power in their Security Council, even if they did like somehow decide to like, oh yeah, we're going to charge an American, the ICC can't arrest an American because the Hague Invasion Act of the United States from back in the Bush administration literally states if any American is ever placed into the Hague for crimes against humanity, that the U.S. military is to get involved and invade the Hague to free that American.
Yes, I was just going to bring that up. We're allowed legally, because it was passed and the president signed it, to invade the Hague in order to get our citizen back. And they won't
also
do it.
We never signed the doctrine to be like held liable by the ICC. Like, oh, okay, so we did. But then we pulled it out. We like signed, and then we pulled out immediately because Israel pulled out. Like Israel pulled out, and the United States pulled out shortly after. A lot of people don't know that.
Yep. Yeah, we're not a signatory to the ICC, so it's like. But meanwhile, what's funny is the United States was pushing the ICC to charge Putin with fake war crimes. Meanwhile, when the ICC charged Netanyahu with war crimes, it's like, oh, we're going to sanction the ICC, we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. How dare you charge Netanyahu?
Because America is just Israel's bitch.
Exactly.
As a kid from Heartlands Media would say, boogie, boogie, boogie.
That I would like to just say that is my third work husband. So yes, and I just had him on my show too.
Yeah, it's like this is like
that was pathetic.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love Mortal Kombat.
Then the pretext was stopping the spread of communism, supposedly neutralizing a Soviet-Cuban outpost.
No, communism. It's so
now
bad.
the pretext is rotating vocabulary of narco-terrorism, failed state, and energy security, all pointing to the same material objective: control Venezuela's vast oil and strategic position in the Caribbean basin. Washington's big policy never disappeared; it simply waited for a new excuse.
Yep,
that's 100% true. So it's not just Grenada, it's not just Venezuela, it's Noriega of Panama. Look what we did to him. We grabbed him, arrested him, and fucking charged him with what? Drugs. Of course, he's a big drug lord, even though he did nothing. Let's see. Where I had something on that.
Yeah, I mean, they freeze bank accounts all the time. I mean, this is nothing new.
Man, did Michael Tracy really ruin his credibility? Holy shit.
Right?
Did you see the clip of his exchange with Due Dissidents? It was so funny.
Yeah, I briefly saw it. I really didn't pay much attention to it, but
yeah, it was happening like right as we were about to go on show, so I didn't really pay attention to it either. But I know that Hembo and Crab were watching it.
Angel, were you going to share something about with Kyle Kowinski and Michael Knowles or whatever his name is.
Oh, I mean, I did see it, but I mean,
Yeah.
we could briefly
Ew.
discuss it. But first, this is Scott Ritter's post on this.
Oh no.
Debanked. Today, my banking institution of 26 years, Citizens Bank, declared that they were ending their banking relationship with me. My accounts were zeroed out without explanation. While I may eventually see the money returned to me, the question is why this occurred remains unanswered, raising a whole host of issues related to civil liberties.
Remember,
You probably will not see that money anymore.
Remember, the Philadelphia's ballpark is called Citizens Bank Park. So,
yeah.
Well, no offense, but he will never see that money again. They will take that and give it to their criminal friends on Washington. Sorry. On Wall Street is what I meant to say. So they'll give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street and in, Washington.
Yeah, we don't
the
whole thing.
Ask those people who had their bank accounts frozen in Canada. The truckers. Remember the truckers?
Yeah.
Did they get their money back? Probably not.
It's kind of a long Substack post. If
how
how
shitty is that you have a government that can literally take all your money out of your bank and say, "Oh well, sorry, sucks to be you. Have fun. We're gonna give it to our criminal friends and our."
You guys want to read it? It's in the chat, but yeah, I'm not going to go over it. I just wanted to go over this tweet here.
Touch my money, bitch, and see what happens to you.
It's all
what I'm saying.
Money.
Go ahead. I worked hard for that money, damn it. And I'm sure Scott did too. And I'm sure those other people the truckers who had their bank accounts frozen, I'm sure they all worked very hard for that money. So try to take my money, bitch. I will get it back and you'll be 6 feet under. So try me.
Well, Steph, you're going to get that complaint from that guy on YouTube again.
Oh, I don't care. Suck a dick, bitch. That's 22 for my friends. Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna really play that. I just wanted to show you guys. Look at him.
Puklinski looks like he's some kind of fucking retard.
Look, he looks like, you know what he looks like? He looks like George Michael, circa 1990, 1991, early 90s. If you know who George Michael is, look him up. Boy George, yeah, he looks just like him, just gayer, honestly. So,
hey, I didn't know Crystal had a dick. Interesting.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I just wanted to somehow looks gayer than he was before, than George Michael did in the early 90s. And George Michael is an out and out homosexual.
You don't really need to know what he's doing.
Yeah, now he's well, actually George Michael isn't he's passed, right? He died like a couple
10 years ago.
Yeah.
No, 2016, I think. I looked it up because
okay.
Kalinsky, they reminded me of him. That's why I'm like, wait, when did George Michael pass? I was like, oh, okay, it was years ago.
Wake me
10 years ago.
Before you go, girl. Okay.
Yeah, so let's see. What else? I can cover, I think, one more thing here.
Hey, I do like the 80s, trust me.
Oh, yeah,
the 80s music.
I listened to quite a bit of everything, honestly. I mean, I wasn't born until 97, but honestly, music from like the 80s to like the 2020s, try to 2010s I listened to. I don't really like the 2020s music.
What month were you born?
I was born in May 1997.
Son of a bitch, I was 11 years old. Son of a bitch.
GTA 6 has some 80s music in it, like Hot Together.
One thing I did want to talk about, if it's okay, if I have a second, because we were talking about it briefly earlier, was the Insurrection Act thing. So I know that martial law and the Insurrection Act sound really scary, but I do want you guys to know, of course, they don't follow the law, but there is a precedent called the Ex parte Milligan precedent. And this was something that was set many, many years ago because a man had infiltrated the not Soviet Union, Jesus Christ, the South during the Civil War. And he had pretty much went against them and was like a double agent. And they tried to enact our martial law at the time of the Insurrection Act in that area and tried to hang him with a military tribunal. And ultimately, the courts got involved. The Supreme Court said, absolutely not. You cannot do this. Like, if the courts are opening and functioning, then you cannot declare an Insurrection Act. They also set the precedent that it can only be set into a specific area. And I apologize if you hear background noise. My kids are at my door. But it can only be set
Okay.
in a locality, so it can't be set nationwide. It's not something that they can do nationwide. And even in the event that the Insurrection Act is invoked, you are still guaranteed your constitutional rights. They try to make it sound scarier than it is. And honestly, guys, I hate to say it, but I think the whole martial law thing online, I mean, it's really believable, but I think it's a psyop. I know it sounds crazy, but I really think people are pushing this narrative so that people are afraid to stand up because they're scared of martial law happening. But honestly, it's not as plausible as it seems, because martial law can only be invoked locally. It has to be like complete chaos, and there has to be like no court, no functioning, like courthouse burned down, kind of like the most insane shit you would ever see. And it's not something that they can just do because they feel like it. If they could, they would have already done it. So don't be afraid to stand up if you're questioning it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you said that, and give us that
important
history
to
lesson,
know.
because that's literally what I was fearing, what we would be living under, and I don't want to live in martial law. I refuse. So
Dissent Bad Cookie says that you love some NSYNC. Is that true?
NSYNC. Oh God. Oh no, I had my best friend Nikki.
Did she step out for a second, or? Oh, no,
sorry, my husband brought me dinner.
Woo! Oh,
is it true that you love NSYNC? That
nice.
Said?
I mean, I listen to some NSYNC. I listen to everything. Like, I listen to Slipknot. I listen to NSYNC. I listen to country music. I listen to metal.
Hey, I love
metal. Oh, there you go.
I love country music.
I mainly listen to.
My favorite band is a band called Glass Animals. They're like an indie pop from England, but honestly, I love their music. If you ever get a chance, I highly recommend them.
Okay. I also like a pagan band called Incubus Succubus. No, that's what. No,
Oddly,
I swear.
I think I've heard of that band.
Yeah, they have really cool songs, especially about like the church and stuff, like the Catholic Church. Church of Madness is called. Such great band, and their songs are not like really dirty. They're just more like, be a pagan, don't be afraid of these Christian hooligans that will come in and destroy your world, basically.
Well, my favorite band is AITA. They're black metal.
All right, so let's go one more story here. Puerto Rico's forgotten military bases become crucial in Trump's plan to American dominance.
Hey, to each your own. But I mean, I grew up with like 90s country and stuff. I'm sorry, Alex, or Angel, sorry. One more thing. Hey, it's cool, to each their own, Jackie. I like 90s country that I grew up with, a little bit of the 2000s country, but it has to be more 90s, because that's like the country I grew up with and started really watching CMT, or country music television. So I'm kind of partial to what kind of country I listen to, because the new stuff, there's only like one song I like that's new. And it came out in like 2022, I think. And it's like a song that my soon-to-be husband and I want to have at our wedding, like at our reception or something. So I'm more into the 90s country, because like I said, that's what I grew up with and in. So
Puerto Rico has long been considered a crucial military asset because of its location. Much of its robust military infrastructure, training facilities established in the island shuttered after the end of the Cold War because of cuts in military spending and local opposition over environmental and health effects, and the artillery and hardware used for target practice for decades, which is, by the way, still there, and by the way, still not really cleaned up. The forgotten military facilities are now being revived amid Trump's new military push in the Western Hemisphere, and warning following Maduro's capture of possibility of new U.S. attacks in Venezuela. Let's see. Puerto Rico is the center of gravity for continuing to advance national policy in the Caribbean and Latin America. Puerto Rico's Secretary of Public Safety, National Guard Brigadier General Arthur Garfer said on press news conference on Tuesday. By the way, the whitest name in the world somehow is running Puerto Rico's, military apparatus there. But luckily, back in the day, before 1950s, I mean, literally, the U.S. president would appoint like generals to be the quote unquote governor of Puerto Rico. They did that for decades, and they were all these white guys who didn't have a clue how to speak Spanish, and it would subjugate the island. So.
They changed from Dixie Chicks to the Chicks, really?
Oh, what?
God.
I like their first songs when they came out. So when the Dixie Chicks first came into the business, I like those songs. The two songs they first came out with, that's the only I do like Goodbye Earl, but I mean everybody likes Goodbye Earl.
I like the chicks, and they changed their name because of what they felt like it represented before. Like they were, think about it, because they were all about the South. They very much were like proud of where they were from, and then their entire fan base turned on them because they talked shit about the military.
And about George Bush. Yeah,
and about George Bush, and they got death threats, and they got like they were no longer welcome by their community.
No, I am not shaving my head.
I would pay good money to see that one.
I am not doing that.
Sorry, Angel. I have ADHD, and they're like
we're not anywhere
my ADHD
near
right now.
80 likes.
Well,
it's okay.
No,
we still had a bit of a show. It's usually chaotic anyways. So.
No, I mean this has been fun, so it is what it is.
This show is usually chaotic. I don't get to everything I want to get to anyway, so not a big deal. Let's see. How many likes do I have right now, though?
Yeah, for anyone who missed it, Vince McMahon's evil mustache. For anyone who missed me going topless, you need to go back through the stream. It was like at least 30 minutes ago.
Yeah,
30, 40 minutes ago.
35 minutes, I remember.
It was a great little show, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep my promises. But like I said, at 100 likes, we go. I did another like on PP. What? Snow, you're weird. PP.
Let's see.
What is men's fascination with poop? My son literally loves to fart in my face.
Okay, do you want to know what we have a Discord where we just communicate about like stuff with the channel. You want to know what they call the voice chat in our Discord?
Poop?
They call it PP mouth noises.
Oh no. Oh my god. Every time he mentions PP, I'm just like, what is with men's fascination?
He did that
with
shit on purpose so he could make dick jokes all day long.
I'd love to hear some dick jokes, though. You've been holding out on us. Oh shit!
Wait. What is it? The amount of likes we get to when we see what is it? Steph, you and Snow in a mud fight or whatever, mud wrestling.
Trust me, Snow couldn't take me in a mud.
That I don't know.
What is it? The amount of likes to get to it. What is it? How many?
Well, that doesn't sound like me. Snow at all.
Well, what is the amount of likes?
Try me and I'll screenshot our fucking Discord.
But what is the amount of likes to get to for that to happen again?
Well, I know that Snow said if we get 50 likes on Prolo Pill that he'll go topless.
Wow, Snow, you taking my gig, yo.
So 60?
No, 100 likes and me and Alex give Angel a lap dance. yeah. Angel will be all into it too.
No, this is more like me. Like
he's so innocent, I think, for a lap dance. Like I could just tell from his face, he's got a very innocent face.
I know, Angel does have a baby face, right? And he would be a baby face if we were in wrestling.
Well, don't forget, in case you didn't know, I just got my hair cut and I shaved, so.
By the way, I just want to announce real fast that Angel will be on my show tomorrow. That will come out the third week of February because I need to double up because of the new job. I need to, take a couple weeks off, get used to the new job. Then I'll be recording my shows again. But here we go. Angel will be on my show. We will be recording the first match of Curt Hennig in AWA. Yes, we're out of Portland and we go to AWA. So look for that. We're also going to go over Jesse Ventura. He's like, I didn't remember I faced Curt Hennig in 1981. I'm like, yeah, you did. I told him about this on a Clubhouse. He's like, I did. I'm like, yes, you did.
This is something
tomorrow at 8:00, so we should be fine if we start at 6.
Yeah, 8:00. Pro Wrestling Talk. Pro Wrestling Talk is 8:00 Eastern Standard Time, and that's 4 p.m.
I agree. EC dub.
Bad cookies. Go get kids. Shut up. No, ECW sucked.
No, it didn't.
I came across this.
2010 ECW sucked, but not.
I'm messing with you, little brother. Angel,
I came across this. What? I
We
came
can't
across
see
this.
you. Your Angel and
Yeah,
Moon logo's in the way.
Yeah, I don't know why it's there.
All good. Okay, go ahead.
There you go. Let's see. The Supreme Court unanimously rules that police may enter a home without a warrant to render emergency aid when they have an objectively reasonable basis to believe someone inside faces serious harm, rejecting any
But then
probable
you
cause
know
requirement.
to abuse
That's
that.
Kagan delivers
actually
the majority
already
opinion.
been a law for like a really long time. I'm wondering if something just changed. And I apologize. I'm just going to be on voice for now because my 5-year-old is in the
That's
room
fine.
and I don't want my kid on camera.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
fine.
no, I totally understand. I mean, yeah, she's right. I mean, they literally, but they abuse this too. They can literally just knock in my door because,
No.
oh, well, we had a report that someone in here has drugs. Throw a bag of drugs on the floor and say, okay, now
Okay,
prove
here.
that's not yours.
They've actually
Here's
done
what,
that to black people, like
Yes,
a
they've done
large
that
amount.
Here's what we're talking. Here's what you were talking about. For those wondering, this isn't a new law. The court is clarifying that yes, the city's objective reasonable standard still controls the face of lower courts applying probable cause, community caretaking, or Terry style standards. So yeah, this is just clarifying that yes, that police can enter your home if it's a real emergency. If they think it's a real emergency and someone's being harmed inside. So it's just making it clear, basically. And it's
they're not
9-0.
going to abuse that.
To quote
Yeah, of course they're
Comrade
not going to abuse it though. It's
quote
9-0. Go ahead. It's 9-0, and all the Democrats in the court went along with it. So
to quote Comrade Misty, we are so fucked.
I mean, this gives them leeway to do whatever they want. Now, they could just say, well, I thought you guys were choking. I was sleeping in my bed, you idiots. You woke me up out of a sound sleep for this. Yeah, they can do whatever they want now.
Just look at what happened to Breonna Taylor. She was literally just sleeping in her home and she came and got murdered because they had the wrong address.
And then they justified it and said, well, it was her fault because she was so hot and sexy. And the guy who, the sheriff who actually shot her, actually wanted her. He was actually trying to hit on her. And when she said no and rejected him, he said, well, if I can't have her, no one can. And that's why he shot her.
I mean, that's why, think about it, like a majority of the police they have domestic violence charges.
Yes, they all have SA on them. Absolutely. I could literally be SA'd by a cop, and this community around here is a bunch of Trumpers. They would blame me. Well, she was so hot and she was dressing provocatively. Oh, so that gives a cop a right to SA me or rape me? No, I don't think it does, Sherlock Holmes.
The Clintons are refusing to testify in the congressional investigation into Epstein, which is so they put out like a 2-page letter on social media talking about it. I mean, they have a bunch of excuses. But basically, it's like,
really, it's because Clinton was on the logs. He's on the flight logs. He is a pedophile. So is she.
There needs to be an investigation of why.
What do you guys think about Clinton calling, like, even though he's on the logs, like calling for the full release? What do you guys think about that? I kind of have like mixed feelings.
I don't know why he.
I don't think he is really sincere.
I don't know why. Yeah, he's bluffing because he knows. He knows Trump. He knows Trump is not going to actually release the files. It's more like a grandstanding thing. Yeah, release the files.
Kind of like Bill Gates. Bill Gates is on it. He's been saying kind of the same thing.
Oh, yeah, I know Bill Gates is on it. But my theory about the Epstein files is the reason that they are fighting back so hard against them being released. I think that is how Donald Trump keeps his power. Because think about it. That's what Jeffrey Epstein used to do. He would use his power and his blackmail on the people in his pedophile rings to try to like stay in control because he pretty much could make them do anything he wanted because, hey, I approve you're a pedophile. And I think Donald Trump took the reins of that from Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump is also a pedophile, but he's got this list of people and it's like, I'll keep you safe as long as you do my bidding. And if he loses that by releasing the list, then he loses his power. That is my theory.
Yes, ma'am. And like I said, just because Jeffrey Epstein was self-deleted, quote unquote self-deleted, like I said, just because he supposedly is gone now does not mean that an Epstein 2.0 can't come out. And again, there's going to be a lot of more Epsteins. There's probably
a ton of Epsteins that we don't even know about. Yeah.
Yes.
But what I was going to say was, speaking of the Clintons, it needs to be investigated of why Hillary Clinton stuck with Bill after he slept with Monica.
Because they are both pedophiles and they
I can tell you that.
But also, like, even if they weren't pedophiles, sometimes people have affairs. Like, I'm not saying it's okay, but
They have open marriages, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I can
affairs,
tell you
open
exactly
marriages, polyamory, and also like some people work through shit. And I'm not saying that's the case there, but like that's not necessarily a reason to leave your spouse.
I
If
can
you
I can
have
tell you exactly
any other
why.
figures.
It's either that or Hillary Clinton wanted to be president. So in order to give her a better shot at that,
Well,
she
guess
said,
what,
"Why
Hillary?
not stay with the
It could be
popular president?"
it could be both. It could really be
Yeah.
both.
Yeah. So all of these sick bastards in the Epstein files. It's really this is the best way.
What?
This is
Monarch
what?
posted that. Did you see all the people Trump pardoned today?
No, he pardons the hardest criminals too. You know,
He
talks
pardons
about
anyone that gives him money. If you have the right
Pretty much.
connections and you give him
He
enough
sells
money,
his
he will pardon you. Yeah, he's selling those
He'll
pardons.
sell you a pardon.
yeah, like
Which is
literally he
absolutely
said
insane.
Maduro's an evil drug lord, but it's actually the one person he pardoned from, I think Colombia, was actually the hardened drug lord. He
And
was
it's
actually a
also-
real drug lord.
Think back to like the shit they were doing in Venezuela. All those people
Yeah.
that they killed, those innocent people, because yeah, narco terrorists. But then it's like, do you know just the other day they cut another $2 billion from SAMHSA funding, which is like substance and mental health systems, to help people with addiction, to help people with mental health disorders, which is one of the number one causes of addiction. My daughter's father passed away from a fentanyl overdose a couple of years ago.
Oh my gosh.
I opened a nonprofit in his
wow.
name, and I am one of the people that actually give out Narcan and like harm reduction supplies in my community. So I'm actually one of the people that's going to be affected by this. And I also know that a majority of the fentanyl in the United States comes over the southern border, and it's actually trafficked in by U.S. citizens over legal ports of entry. So I knew it was bullshit this entire time, and it's disheartening because I actually see so many people in this community of like overdose loss talking about it and falling for this bullshit. And he's like weaponizing people's grief, and it's just absolutely disgusting, while also cutting the things that keep these people alive. And then he's bragging about how, oh yeah, we've reached an all-time low in 2 years. Like, not trying to be funny, it's because SAMHSA got a shit ton of funding over time, and now that funding is gone.
Yeah.
You have to meet people where they are. And it's like, I fucking hate Biden, but I will give him credit for that one thing. He did give a lot of funding to mental health and substance use disorder, and I feel like that played a large role in just helping to combat the fentanyl issue.
Right. And that's the
But
thing is they don't treat it like a mental illness. They always say, well, drug people or people who use drugs, well, they dehumanize them. So that makes them easier for kind of like in the Philippines. Remember when they said in the Philippines that they were going to kill anyone who used drugs? They were basically going to delete anyone who did them. And that's
Vicky,
just so... It's
Yeah,
so
no,
dehumanizing, and that's what, like my dad, for example, I love my dad to pieces, and my dad is ex-military, and he watches Fox News and believe it's real. So they'll talk about, oh, all the homeless are just druggies who need to be. Brian Kilmeade said they need to be killed, they need to be deleted. He said that.
I mean, just look at how they're treating people. Look at the executive orders they've released to help people with substance use disorder and homelessness, but they're really just looking for reasons to institutionalize them in geo group and core civic owned groups. And to add on to something else that you had said, like about the dehumanization, yeah, that's actually one of the sole purposes of my nonprofit. Like, I have a memorial wall where I actually write like bios, and I humanize these people, and I show people who these people were outside of the way they died. And I just wanted to address one of the comments from Vicky Adams. So actually there's two kinds of fentanyl. There is illicit fentanyl, which is the shit that you're seeing in the streets, and then there is actual pharmaceutical grade fentanyl. I'm a registered nurse, and I've seen it in my day-to-day. It's used in actual patients, like the medical use in surgeries or cancer patients or people that need like a lot of pain relief. Illicit fentanyl is a completely different thing, and it's really important that people know the differences, because like a lot of people seem to target both of them, meaning illicit fentanyl, but honestly it's a very necessary medication in surgery and otherwise, and it's a very good medication when it's used the way that it should be used, and it's not made in someone's basement.
Right. And that's what people don't understand is, I mean, fentanyl, it can be used for medicinal purposes, just like CBDC, because now they're trying to make, I think it was Mitch McConnell literally put a bill out there that making weed and CBC illegal because, oh, well, it's too much like weed. No, that's not it. And people literally are, and I agree with one of the comments that said, drugs are illegal so Big Pharma can profit. Yes, they want you on painkillers. They want you on painkillers so you will overdose on those painkillers.
Interestingly, do you guys remember the war on drugs? Yes. Many years ago? That actually more people ended up addicted and dead during that period than ever before because they were jailing people for minor offenses, and the people would go into jails and get harder things, etc.
Yes.
I had a old like Dare T-shirt. When we completed the Dare program, you get a T-shirt, you get all this nice stuff. Oh, look, you completed the Dare program. Like,
Bill, did you mean RFK, not FRK?
Yeah, and that's the thing is, because Angel and I watch wrestling, and we watch the old wrestling, and a lot of those painkillers were pushed towards the athletes, aka the professional wrestlers, and that's why a lot of professional wrestlers OD'd young because they were so addicted to these fucking painkillers that didn't fucking solve their pain, and literally that's how they overdosed, and that's kind of how my favorite wrestler passed away because he got into that scene.
That's how my daughter's father passed away because he didn't have insurance.
It's so heartbreaking and disheartening, and he could have been prevented from that if they had not used or pushed it towards these people saying, well, this will cure all your pain or this will cure all your ills.
They end up becoming reliant on it because it's like they get a physical dependence, and it also helps. They realize like, oh, this is not only helping my pain, but it's also like helping my mood. That is what happened to my daughter's father. He had a defective tooth. He didn't have insurance, so he didn't get it removed. And like, he just kept like taking these pain pills from like the ER. He didn't have money to go get the tooth taken out. And then over time, like he was just using stronger and stronger shit. He thought he was using a Percocet 30, but it was actually fentanyl. And that's how he passed away.
And don't forget the other wrestler that we're not allowed to say his name.
Yeah.
Whoa. Not Chris Benoit.
Yeah, Chris Benoit.
Oh, come on! I still watch his stuff. I'm not going to.
I watch his stuff. I was
going to say I'm not going to miss a match just because it's Chris Benoit.
I didn't mean that. I just say
that's steroids, and they say roid rage.
I just say because WWE don't say his name anymore. I'm just saying it as a.
All right. So yeah, we do. We do have to start. We do have to start like going to the end and wrapping this up.
I was going to say, my son has to go to bed at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I love the conversation, and we're having a great time here, and the show kind of devolved.
You're right. I'm sorry. One more thing, Angel. One more thing. Weed is actually much better for you. I do. I'm trying to listen to the audiobook for Jesse Ventura, his marijuana something chronicles or something. Where I don't know if Bloom has done any articles on weed and the medicinal effects and the great things that I've actually researched about weed. Weed is so much better for you. And of course, the tobacco and the alcohol industries are literally keeping weed illegal. So that's their competition. If people stop smoking real cigarettes and they stop drinking alcohol, well, they'll be healthier. Exactly.
We can't hear you.
The mic is off or low.
Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, we can hear you now.
Now we can.
Okay, sorry. But I was saying like I've actually never wrote anything on weed because I don't use weed. I don't use cigarettes. I don't use anything like that. My parents were addicts, and I'm just like I don't trust myself. As I know it's not the same. I know it's not likely, but it's just like a mental thing. So I've never actually done anything.
No, that's fine. I mean, my dad tried weed in the military. He was ex-army. But I never done weed myself. I'm just saying from what the research I have gathered and heard so much about weed, I think it's actually healthier for you, and it is healthier for you than the painkillers.
It absolutely is.
Definitely trying to
alcohol.
Never wrote on it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the kind words, Bad Cookies. Those are rare, kind words. Thank you. But seriously though, let's see. We do have to go though, but letting you guys know, we talked about it briefly at the beginning of the show. Kind of had some technical difficulties. Sorry about that, but
that's right.
Yeah, in the coming weeks, I'm not sure when. Witchy will bring a couple segments, so she'll be doing some segments in the show too. Once she gets comfortable in a new job and figure out how we're gonna work that out, but that'll be in the coming weeks.
And also tomorrow, Pro Wrestling Talk at 8.
Tomorrow's Pro Wrestling Talk, and also Angel will be on my show.
Yeah. I'll be on at 9 Eastern.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll try to fit in.
And for those who are interested, obviously not related to any of these shows here, but for those who are interested, tomorrow and Sunday is the continuation of the NFL postseason. So for those who are
And then
Right.
Perlapilled will be on at 6 tomorrow for anyone that watches our show.
I will be
Okay.
there. I'll be in chat actually.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe
it's only
that-
going to be an hour. Like Angel's coming on at 1 p.m. and it's only going to be an hour, Angel. So
Okay. I
Oh,
can do
awesome.
that.
You did?
I can fit that in. So
all right,
it's
keep it. We'll keep it on the down.
He's fat.
he's fat. All right. So seriously though, tomorrow's Pro Wrestling Talk. Next
Mhm.
Friday's Angel in the afternoon. Let's see. What
Please
else?
watch Pro Pilled. Please watch
Yeah,
Pro
Pro
Pilled.
Pilled.
Angel, you
Good
can also add, give me what I want.
Give my what I want, and he couldn't remember his line. That's why he kept saying that.
Yeah. Mhm.
Wrestlers have
Yeah.
lines.
So. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, all of those people, all of those elites that are on the Epstein files. I mean, it's just gross, but it's the best way. Really, like it. What Joe Pesci said in Casino. I mean, that's the
Shut
best
up,
way to
Snow.
describe these people.
Watch
It's
TV.
like- The best way to describe those
Who is
people,
that?
those elites, are just this. It's just perfectly description.
You call yourself a man? You know you're a lying, low-life, motherfucking degenerate prick. You know that's what you are?
Phil, stop.
Nimbo, I will punch you in the dick. Shut the fuck up.
I'll help her. I'll punch both of you in the dick. Nah, we love you guys. We love you, Bill.
Well, yeah. Thank you for all the likes and all the support. I mean, that was incredible today. Thank Descent and Bloom for taking a couple hours to come on and hang out
thank
with
you,
us.
thank you. I'm not the only chick on
Hopefully-
the show anymore.
Hopefully, we'll be able to do this again soon. I also want to announce that Witchy is going to be my new booking producer because she's brought on some excellent guests lately. So that's officially your title. So there you go.
I'm the
Because
new booker in town, baby.
But what I've been thinking, I'm gonna have this person on and that person on and this person on. I never actually reach out because I'm so busy. You've been doing that unofficially, so I was like, you know what, you got the official, we got the job.
Woo! I'm
no
better
money
than Tony
involved,
Khan,
but-
bitch.
Jackson.
There's no money involved, but hey, I mean, at least you do what you've been doing anyways. So, all right, so
No, get your
seriously,
ass
guys,
back on the show.
Jackson,
Snow Himbo, I'm looking at you.
Jackson-
Snow Himbo.
Jackson,
Dave,
look
we
at
would like
this.
you for you to come
Look,
back
who-
too as well, and Bill if you can.
And Bill.
who is Jackson Twinkle?
No, it's just-
Anyways, it's like 42 likes.
Jackson Hinkle. I hate
I
that
feel
dude.
like that's got to be another one of Cowboy Kitty's accounts.
Right? It has to be. Either that or
it's
bad
somebody
cookies.
pulling. But thank you. If you haven't already, I do have to go though. Seriously, I mean, I keep doing this on an hour, but I
Bye,
do have
guys.
to go.
Have a good night.
But make sure you like.
All right.
All right, good night. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next week, Angel, on Saturday's Pro Wrestling Talk tomorrow at 8. Hopefully, able to see you there. If not, have a nice weekend. Have a nice weekend. Peace out.
Remember,
God
suck a
bless,
dick.
whatever.
Suck a dick.
Yeah, there you go.